All right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. We're back now from the winter break and, well, the UWCL is back, but today we're focusing our attention on the Première League, over in France with a top-of-the-table clash between PSG and Lyon today. Should be really interesting. It's our first chance to stream the French league this season, and obviously two sides that we'll be expecting, Lyon we expect to go deep in the Champions League. PSG, of course, did last year, but won't be able to this year, as they didn't even make the competition. But Harry, should be a really interesting game tonight between two title challengers out in France.
Yeah, very much so, as you say. It's the second game week of French football in 2025, and this game's going to be absolutely huge for the title race, as you say. 5 points currently separating Lyon and PSG. If PSG are to win tonight, not only would they close the gap to 2 points, but they'd also hand out Lyon's first defeat of the season. So it's going to be hard work for them. We're looking at a Lyon side who, under Joe Montemurro, are still unbeaten in all competitions this season, are 4 points clear of anyone in the league right now, but obviously Paris FC have played earlier today. So Lyon, with a chance to go 7 points clear of the rest of the field and still remain unbeaten. It's a very, very important game if PSG want to have any chance of winning this year's title.
Well, exactly that, because as you say, a win here would all but wrap up the title for Lyon. Obviously, they were knocked out of the French Cup last weekend. However, since that was a draw in normal time, it still doesn't count as a loss on their record. They lost, I believe, on penalties. So, yeah, they've been very good this season under Joe Montemurro. They look like one of the favourites for the Champions League, as they always should, really. So it's difficult at the moment for me to call Lyon, Barca or Chelsea. You'd have to say they are the three sides with the most chance of winning the competition. They're the three sides that have been at the sharp end for the last few years now. But I think Lyon will go into this with a lot of faith that they will go into the last stage of the Champions League with a lot of faith that they will be right up there.
Well, that's the thing for Lyon is that could help PSG slightly is that Lyon will have their focus on that UWCL as well. Yes, they will focus on they'll be wider out the league and they want to win that, but they'll also be looking at the UWCL, which could offer opportunities for PSG to catch them and for Lyon to drop points. Very unlikely, but it's a possibility. For PSG, they have no other focuses. They were very disappointed to be knocked out of the UWCL in the qualifying stages. Their full focus is on the league. They haven't won the league title in the last 4 years. They will believe that they can make a real good go of getting their hands back on that trophy. They've got nothing else to play for. Yes, they've got the cup, but realistically, without European football, they're focusing on this domestic title. If they can get a win tonight, then they put themselves only 2 points behind Lyon, and suddenly they're within touching distance of taking the lead of this division.
Yeah, I think though if PSG are to win tonight, it hampers Lyon's chances of winning the Champions League more than it hampers their chances of winning the league. Because I think if they open up a 7 point gap, suddenly the league becomes a lot easier to win, and then they can prioritise the Champions League without much fear. I think if PSG win tonight, I would still expect Lyon to win the Premier League, Premier League, sorry. But I think they would struggle more in the Champions League because those games would be more important in the league. They wouldn't be able to rest up quite as heavily.
Yeah,
but equally they are the dominant force. They are able to rest up and still win games. So it should make a huge difference either way. I just think if it's going to have more of an impact, a PSG win impacts the chance to win the Champions League more than does the Premier League.
Yeah, and if PSG do win tonight, the other reason it makes it more difficult, I think, in terms of, talk about that resting factor, is it won't just be between PSG and Lyon. If PSG are to win tonight, the top three will be separated by 4 points. That is ridiculously tight. And Paris FC will fancy that they can, if results go their way, that they can be up there right at the end of the season. And I mean, that would be a massive shock if they were to. That would be very surprised if they were to pull that off. But it's a thought, it's a consideration that if they are in that fight, they can make it very difficult for either one of these two teams tonight if they want to go on to win the league. But 3 times in a row for Lyon, they're unbeaten this season. I think PSG would have fancied this year to be their year. With Bon Pastor leaving, this was a huge opportunity for PSG to win the title. However, if there was any way possible to replace Bon Pastor, it would be with someone like Joe Montemurro. Lyon have got that decision correct, and it has paid off massively so far. But as I say, there's still a second half of the season to go. Tonight is absolutely massive.
Yeah, it came at a horrible time really for PSG because they're in a process of rebuilding. We saw over the summer them make a lot of transfers with Romy Loic joining, with Mary Earps joining, that haven't 100% settled yet. And so I don't think it came at a perfect time for them. But Anyway, welcome to the stream if you are hopping in. Do get involved in the live chat. Wilson Alexander saying, I hope I pronounced that name correctly, saying Lyon will win. I love the certainty in that statement. So do get involved in the live chat. Give us your thoughts. Of course, vote in the poll and chat as well. 75% at the moment backing Lyon to win. 20% PSG and a measly 5% think this game will be a draw. Definitely an opportunity tonight. This game could end a draw, though. Let's have a look, though, at the lineups so we can discuss those. PSG, the home side tonight. It looks like it's going to be a 4-4-2 for PSG. That's been the most used formation or some variation of that. In goal, it's England's number one, potentially, Marias. A back four then of Leguili. I'm not 100% sure there, so if you are a native speaker, then do let us know how to pronounce that. Dialmeida, Gaetino and Dudek. In the midfield, you've got Gayoro, Albert, Groenen and Sakina Karchawi. And then a front line of Leukta and Katoto. So we expect Karchawi and Groenen to be the wider midfielders of that four, with obviously then a pivot of Albert and Gayoro, which it's quite a well put together PSG side, even if it hasn't worked out so far this season.
Yeah, very much so. They're a very, very good side. It's a very experienced side. It's a PSG side who they've got a few players in there who do know how to win trophies, who can provide in big matches. I think you have to give them credit. As much as getting knocked out of the UWCL is disappointing, they're unbeaten as well, bar losing to Lyon. So they've been pretty perfect, apart from playing against their opposition today. So that'll be very, very interesting. But PSG, it's a good side, it's a good system. They've got to hope it's going to pay off today.
Yeah, I think they will be. It's a really tough game, but it's the kind of game where they can really prove that they've come on leaps and bounds this season.
And I think it's important to say that they went away to Lyon earlier this season and only lost that game 1-0. That was a really tight match where a moment of magic managed to win the game for Lyon. And that could be true tonight, but it could be the opposite direction. If PSG keep things tight, if they keep in the game, then they could get a goal of their own and really punish Lyon.
Yeah, we've just seen Lyon knocked out of the French Cup. This is the opportunity for PSG to come in and really make a statement and beat them in the league. Suddenly the league looks really tight. So I think this is a real opportunity for PSG tonight.
Yeah, very much so. That if they can provide a performance of a similar standard that they did in the first match between these two sides, and as you say, if Lyon aren't 100%, there's a really good chance PSG can try and pull off a result.
Yes. All right, let's have a look then at this Lyon side. It's going to be a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 for Lyon tonight. In goal, it's Christine Endler. A back four of Carpenter, Gilles, Renard and Selma Bakker. In the midfield, it's Damaris Egarola, Marachan and Lindsay Horan. And a front line of Diani, Dumonet and Chawinga. It is a side packed with quality across the field. You can see why they're so dominant in the league.
Yeah, they're absolutely incredible. You look at the numbers across the pitch. Defensively, they're absolutely solid. In the attacking department, they've got Horan and Dumonet, who have both scored double digits for goals this season already. That is absolutely absurd. They're in a really good position. It is an incredible football team. The football they've played under Joe Montemurro has been absolutely brilliant. They've torn sides apart both domestically and in Europe. They really look like a real polished and finished side that if they win tonight, they go clear in their domestic division, and then they start focusing on the UWCL, where for me at the moment they're looking in real good shape to go out and win that title once again. So everything is going very swimmingly, but that is sometimes when you are most vulnerable. When everything's been perfect, when you're unbeaten, when you haven't lost a game all season, you come into the new year. Everything you think is incredible. That is sometimes when teams can hit you the hardest, especially sides like PSG who do pack a punch themselves. Lyon have got to be careful that they're not, they can keep up what they did in the first half of the season. They've got to match that standard.
Yeah, and while I think that warning is justified, looking at their record this season, it has been frankly absurd. They have won all but one game in the league, which they drew. They have conceded just 3 goals in the league this season. They've won every game in the Champions League, conceding just 1 goal. Admittedly, they had one of the nicer groups, I would say, but even then, Wolfsburg and Roma are both difficult sides in their own right. So they've proven themselves to be a force this season, Lyon, a real force to be reckoned with, and they're in a really good position. Yeah, they're a really strong side in a really good position.
To play 18, 19 games between now and September time and only concede 4 goals is absolutely absurd. And as you say, when you consider that they've played, tough opposition both in the French league and in the UWCL. That is an absurd record. They're a side that, it's a brilliant mix of incredible young talent and you got a lovely mix of young talents who are playing really good football, players in their prime who are excelling at the moment, and then even legendary leaders like Wendy Renard, who is still playing football at the top level somehow, and it has not
She's
dropped the standard.
Fine wine is Wendy Renard.
Absolutely incredible.
She's never going to retire.
Yeah.
She could play forever.
And because of that, you end up building a side that is very hard to knock down. If they lose a game, they get back up again and they go and beat the next team 9-0. Even a drop of points is viewed as a disappointing result. And that is why it's so hard to beat sides like this. They know that the league is not wrapped up yet. They've done it before. They've won it 3 times in a row now. They've won it 16, 17 times. Obviously not this same 11, but, as a squad, they know what it takes to win the division, which makes it all that bit harder to try and knock them off their perch.
Yeah, I've got a comment in the live chat from Fernando saying, do you know why Danielle van der Donk is not in the side? She's not in the matchday squad at all tonight. That's an interesting call. I imagine it's got to be through injury.
Yeah, huge
or
plan.
Unless there is any transfer rumours, but I've not seen any reason why, so unfortunately I can't help there. So far, so where are you watching it? It is on DAZN if you're in most parts of the world. It's on TNT if you're in the UK. It may also be on DAZN in the UK, I'm not sure. But that is where it's available. Alex G says, going with a Chelsea announcement when? Well, it's still a very contentious one. Obviously, Chelsea and Lyon leading the race to sign her. Chelsea believed to be closer to signing her or more desperate to sign her than Lyon are, which makes sense. You look at Chelsea's backline this season. Do Lyon really need her? Probably not. Do Chelsea? I would say so. So you can see why the pull is there, but it's going to be very interesting to see if anything does indeed happen. Parc de France tonight, looking very vibrant.
Yeah.
We've got a nice show going on beforehand with some fireworks. Not fireworks, I don't know what you'd call them.
Pyrotechnics and flares.
There we go. And the crowd look up for it.
Yeah, very much, and that's what you've got to do. It's a brilliant ground and it's a brilliant atmosphere, and these PSG home fans they've got to try something to try and offset Lyon, and if that is setting off fire and pyrotechnics into the air, and if that's creating loads of noise, then that might work. But yeah, that they're here, that they believe, they know, I think that the fans will know that this is their best opportunity out of the last couple of years to go on and win the title. A win tonight and they put themselves right back into contention. It's a hugely important game. It's 90 minutes that this 90 minutes determines whether we get a 3-way title battle or whether Lyon win it by a canter. And yes, it's January, but with so little, when you consider how many games have got to be played, a 7-point margin would see Lyon probably go clear with the ability they possess.
Yeah.
For PSG, absolutely crucial that they go on and win the game tonight.
So it looks like a 3-5-2 then for PSG tonight. Karchawi and Leguilli as the wing backs, Dudek, Gaetino and Di Almeida in the back three. Can be interesting to see how that lines up then, how that compares to this Lyon side. PSG, it seems different to how they've deployed their side most times this season. It's looked more like a 4-4-2. So whether that's a recent tactical change that I've not seen, I've not watched a whole lot of PSG this season, or whether that is something they've changed for this game, it's going to be really interesting to see how that fares against this Lyon side.
Yeah, very much so. I think that the wing backs are going to be very, very important for PSG because they're going to be the creative outlets. They're going to want to get wide and get the ball into them, and they're going to want to be crossing balls into Loikda and Katoto. But those wing backs are going to have to get in as well, because if they don't drop in and they get caught out, suddenly it's a 3-on-3 at the back, and with the quality of that Lyon front line, they're going to run riot. I mean, if you leave your back three in a player for player battle with Chawinga, Dumonet, and Diani, you're going to end up conceding. So the wing backs absolutely crucial today. They're going to have to support the attack, but they're going to have to get back in and defend when they need them to be. I think PSG will expect Lyon to have the majority of the ball. It's about packing that punch on the counter. When they turn over that ball, get out the pitch as quickly as possible and try and test that Lyon backline. Yeah,
indeed. Lucky, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Alex is looking forward for Skinner versus Taylor thriller tomorrow. Indeed, do join us tomorrow for a doubleheader. We've got Tottenham-Leicester in the morning and the Manchester derby in the evening.
What a weekend of action. Great to be back.
Indeed. Yeah, it's very good to be back. We've already seen 2 WSL games yesterday. And then, of course, today we've also had a full day of action in the Première Ligue in France. So a lot of women's football back on our TV screens.
Yeah, and a weekend of huge games that can decide title destinations. or title favourites in January. That's how crucial it is. And PSG, whether they'll play on that, whether they'll use it or not, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's going on. 2 fans are taking the kickoff.
Why?
I don't know.
It's my only question. They're just going to play a couple passes, and they try and pass to Katoto and miss, and now they will have to leave the field.
Nice football. You sign them up. I don't know. Very tiny players. Yeah.
Well, a nice experience for those 2 fans there, but now they are departing the field and we can get underway for the main spectacle. As exciting as that was. It will be PSG, I believe, to get us started here. Once the referee is happy to begin proceedings. Leukter knocks the ball back and we're underway here in Paris. It's PSG versus Olympique Lyonnais with the division of the Première Ligue title at stake. Lyon with a chance tonight to open up the gap to 7 points. PSG with a chance to close it significantly. And it's Lyon in possession early on here. Diani finds Dumornay. That's seen out there. Well, too much to the... Well, I don't know how that's been given in the way of Lyon. That looked like it came off Dumornay, but it's given a Lyon throw.
Yeah, worst case scenario, PSG draw tonight. They cannot afford to lose if they want to win the league this season. They've got to stay in the game. First 5-10 minutes, do not concede a goal. Make sure you're still in the contest. Because the longer this stays 0-0, the more chance that PSG can get something out of this match.
Yeah. Endler finds Renard. Renard back to Endler. Already there, quite effective pressing from PSG, shutting off those options for Renard. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that front two. It's quite difficult when you're playing a fullback to play out against a front two, and that's a win high up the field here for PSG. A strong tackle in there from Egarola, though, and they have regained possession.
Yeah, Horan got a bit fortunate there, and the defensive midfielders helped her out a lot.
Yeah.
Dispossessed in their own half, but saved by Egarola.
Respect the Lev says, it's my home girl Rome Leukter playing. She was a different beast at Ajax. She was fantastic in their run to the quarterfinals last year. And Ajax side got torn apart from it. A lot of players now playing across Europe. Here's De Almeida.
A player that I think that, has looked pretty tidy. Again, I think she's still yet to find her top level in this PSG side, but it's been a bit of a difficult year at times for the whole PSG 11. She's a type of player, though, that especially in a game like today can have a massive impact. Big game player.
Chawinga on the ball now, though. And Lyon looking to come forwards. Takes on Gaetino, ball into the box. Leaves not to be decided. Somehow that's still in play. And PSG have possession. Here is Karchawi. Loses it, though, to Diani. Now Carpenter. Nice movement. Wants to try and deliver this ball. Good tackle from Karchawi. That does go out for a throw, but it is a PSG one.
Yeah, very smart defending. Not quite sure that's a PSG throw, but
no.
Karchawi does well to win the interception. But again, when players like Chawinga getting on the ball down the left-hand side just manages to burst into space and just run past 2 or 3 players and take them out of the defensive situation, PSG, they can't afford that to happen too often tonight.
Yeah, here is De Almeida. We'll just let that ball run there to Mary Earps. And now Gaetino. Back to Earps. Dudek drops off and now receives the ball into De Almeida. The high press of Lyon is causing them some problems here. PSG not really able to play out, and that's just lifted off the pitch. But it's actually kept alive there by Carpenter. Karchawi goes and wins it, but that will be a Lyon corner. Yeah. They're just not able to play out at all at the moment, PSG. Lyon's high press is really penning them in.
Yeah, very much. It's brave from PSG, but at the end of the day, you're 3 minutes into an absolutely crucial game against a side who are going to press you very high. I like the fact they want to play out and they want to play football, but at this point in the game, just clear your lines. See if you can get Katoto or Leukter to hold that ball up there, because they're under early pressure already.
Yeah. Also, apologies to those commenting in French. Unfortunately, je ne l'ai pas français. I hope I've said that correctly. Ball into the box for Diani. Kept alive by Gilles, but that is out of play for a PSG goal kick. But yeah, already we're seeing those signs of Lyon causing issues for PSG.
Yeah, that's dealt well with by PSG. Clear the initial corner and then watch Marazan head it very wide of the net.
Yeah. But yeah, Fabrice Abriel. I like how they call them the entrainers.
That makes sense. I was going to say, PSG were also, as you talk about a change in the summer, obviously Michelle Kang.
And that's a ball through, but it's cut out, of course, by Wendy Renard. And she's sprung a counter-attack, able to find Chawinga with the Travella pass forward. Taking on Gaetino here, Chawinga, and her pace blasting past her, but De Almeida is there to sweep up. Lyon, though, regain possession. Here's Horan. Trying to hold off Cordin Albert there. Ball to Selma Bakker, and Bakker will take them on now. Great drive from Selma Bakker, ball into the box, headed away in there by Karchawi. De Almeida hooks it clear. It will fall on the edge to Egarola, keeps the move alive. Here is Diani. Wants to take on Karchawi here. Lovely movement from Diani. That's a good tackle from Karchawi. Again, though, a Lyon corner.
Yeah, Karchawi doing well again, just to stand Diani up. Just watch her go one way or the other and make a really good tackle. Times it well. Lyon, though, are putting all kinds of pressure under PSG. PSG have just got to hang in there. They just need to get a bit more on the clearance. They're not getting the clearances beyond their own penalty area at the moment. Need to get that ball out.
Marijan puts it into the box. It's knocked out with by PSG. Renard pokes it goalwards. Luckily for PSG, it's straight into the grasp of Mary Earps.
That's a huge net.
Could have been a great opportunity for Lyon.
A ball ends up managing to bounce in your own penalty area is never what you want, and luckily for PSG, Renard doesn't catch it incredibly well. But again, warning signs for PSG. They've got to be careful that they don't concede early on here.
Yeah. Which at the left of Selma Bakker, it's Carlos Bakker and Selma Batcha. Okay, thank you. Thank you, respect the left. Remember that. Here is Selma Batcha. Trying to bring the ball forwards. One back in there by Jackie Gernon. But now possession is with Lyon. Horan. Ball down the line. And again, they're just opening up PSG too easily here. Chawinga does well. Has options in the box. Puts it in there. Karchawi blocks it. It's in. It's an own goal. It's an absolute mess from PSG at the back. And that gives Lyon the advantage. Melchior Dumont trying to claim that goal. But she'll do little to convince me. That was a poor bit of defending from PSG. And suddenly they find themselves a goal to the negative.
Yeah, I'll be intrigued to have another look back at this. Karchawi's just got to put a bit more on it. Ends up just passing it across her own net. And whoever it's turned in by, it's just really... It's really... It's got to be a better clearance here.
There. She just pokes. I think it does actually come off Melchior Dumont.
The clearance has got to be better from Karchawi. Just passes it into Dumont, and Dumont is just stood there, and it ends up hitting her feet. It's really poor defending, but Dumont won't care. It's another goal for her season, and Lyon lead early on.
Yeah, Karchawi has to do better. Just gives it across to Dumont. She doesn't know much about it until the last second. She reacts well, to be fair. But PSG, that is shocking. PSG 0, Lyon 1. And goal for Melchior Dumont.
We talk about the magnitude of this game, how important it is for PSG, and to concede after 7 minutes for a huge error there, it will be massively disappointing. You just got to clear your lines.
Selma Batcha here sends it up the line, and that is out for a Lyon throw as it comes off Gernon. No intention of making this happen very quickly, Olympique Lyonnais. They're happy in the position they're in now. They lead this game by a goal to 0.
Yeah, they'll be focused now on killing this off. Do not give PSG an opportunity.
It's Selma Bakker.
Been one-way traffic for 8 minutes.
And that is a poor pass out from Wendy Renard, uncharacteristically so. And that will be a PSG throw.
Yeah. PSG are going to have to dig in now. They've been under pressure. They've got to get themselves on the ball, and they've got to start trying to cause Lyon problems.
Ball down the line. Here's Rome Leuchter. And that's out now for a corner. And PSG, as you say, they've just got to start getting on the front foot in this game. They've got to stop letting Lyon just overrun them constantly. But that's a start that Joe Montemurro will be very pleased with.
Yeah, very much. So it's been a almost perfect season for Lyon, and they've started this game superbly. A win tonight, and I think they set themselves up very nicely for the for the remainder of the campaign.
And a bit of argy-bargy in the box. And so the referee goes over to talk to Gaetino. PSG's centre-back there just trying to put a bit of pressure on the Lyon goalkeeper, Endler. Ball goes into the box from Karchawi in towards the front post. The Almeida flicks it on. All round at the front post. Gets the block in. Lyon looking to counter. PSG turn it over quickly though. Ball lifted over the top by Gayoro. Unable to be capitalised on there by PSG, but it is out for a throw.
Already better from the home side. They've started with that corner knee turned in.
Karchawi puts it in towards the box. It's spilt by Endler and cleared away by Renard. And a nervy few minutes here for Lyon as their backline's being tested. PSG causing them issues. Just asking some questions in there.
Yeah, it was a lovely ball in, and it actually, I think that Endler wasn't really expecting it to come straight to her. She was expecting to see a flick on from Katoto in there, and it never came. And I think slightly caught out the Lyon goalkeeper, but a really good minute or two there for PSG, getting themselves back in this game, starting to throw a bit of pressure onto Lyon.
Yeah. Yeah, as you say, she was expecting a flick on from Loita. Still should have done better than to spill that.
Oh, yeah.
But alas, Lyon do get away with it. Endler lifting that ball forwards. Dumornay loses the physical battle to Di Almeida, but it falls for Marajan. Tries to spray out wide. Brilliant from Diani to keep it alive. Her pass inside, not read by Dumornay. One back by PSG. Here's Grace Gayoro. Now Dudek. Di Almeida. The pass inside to Albert. Albert manages to find Gaetino. Now Cordin Albert. Lifting that out wide. Here's Jackie Gernan. And that's a good ball up the field. Seen out, knocked out of play though by Wendy Renard.
PSG getting a lot of joy with knocking the ball into the channels and letting Katoto, especially on the right hand side, Katoto to come wide for it, and then she can look for the options inside. And it's working so far.
Renard has to make an interception, has to make a tackle because she knows Katoto's faster than her.
Yeah.
And if Katoto gets on that ball or manages to get in behind, that's a problem. So immediately she's trying to make that first contact, Renard, which means it's either going to be knocked out of play or it's going to drop down for potentially a PSG player to come onto it.
Yeah.
Poor touch there from Cordon Albert. And that is out of play. Here is Christine Endler. Lifts that ball forwards, competed for in there by PSG, and they've won the ball high up the pitch here. Katoto, with her back to goal, holds it up nicely against Renard, finds Albert. Albert takes aim, and it's just wide of the mark. And she's frustrated with herself there. Big opportunity for PSG. Albert couldn't capitalise.
Yeah, very much like PSG is starting to come forwards. It's not a bad effort from range. Katoto does well to hold it up. And I tell you what, I thought for a minute that was going to find the bottom corner.
She'd have wanted to hit the target at least, though. Give Endler something to do.
Yeah, it's not a bad effort. Does well to get it through the bodies. PSG really starting to put the pressure on, and it will frustrate them even more that they conceded that really sloppy goal, because since that goal, they've been the better side.
Renard Batcher was caught there in the aftermath of that one. And she's on the deck. Olympic Lyonnais will play on though. Carpenter. Marajan. And the game has been stopped. Selma Batcher still on the deck. She just seemed to be caught there. She held onto the ball a little bit too long. Managed to play her way out of it, but I think was caught in the challenge. Respect the Lev says, Katoto rumoured to leave. Well, her contract expires this summer, and it doesn't seem that there's any intention for Katoto to renew that, which makes sense. Realistically, she just got trod on there by Cordin Albert. But yeah, there's no... I don't see the incentive for Katoto to stay. They've not been close enough this season to Lyon for that to be worth it. I think Katoto could be playing for a side that's competing for titles, regularly playing in the Champions League. The fact they aren't in the Champions League this season, the fact they could, after today, or as it stands, would be 7 points behind Lyon. I think that's why she wants to leave. She wants to go somewhere she can go and win the league. Yeah,
as you say, she's a top player, and she deserves to be in a side that are fighting for trophies and bringing success, because she's that type of player that can deliver really, strong seasons where she puts up really good numbers. And as you say, I think she's better than a side who consistently miss out on the division on their domestic side, to a side who they've been at the sharp end of the Champions League, but I've never sat there and gone, I think they're going to win it.
Well, she's been linked with a move to the WSL. She's been linked with moves into America. I don't think there's anywhere in Liga F for her. Really, I can't see Barcelona wanting to sign her. I don't think Real Madrid would be a great fit. Again, if she wants to go in the league, the place to go is not Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Because realistically, that isn't going to happen at the moment. But unless they're offering huge wages, I can't see that happening. Wouldn't be surprised if it was NWSL. If it was WSL, I think she'd be hoping it's Chelsea. I think it'd be more likely to be someone like Man City, though. Or Manchester United.
I still think that she'd take. Obviously, it depends if City would get Europe.
On Diani, she then loses possession, but it's deemed that she had played the advantage. Here is Romy Leuchter. Twisting and turning out of bodies, and that is giving us a free kick in there.
Yeah, pull back, I think, for the foul on Guerrero. Really smart stuff from Grace Guerrero. Got 3 bodies surrounding her, still plays the pass, and then gets fouled. And the advantage didn't really go anywhere for PSG. So they will take the free kick, but really sharp stuff. And again, we're 15 minutes through here, and I mean, that goal went in about 7-8 minutes ago, and since that, PSG, for me, have been the better team.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think they've come forwards quite well.
But the thing is, when you're on top against teams like Lyon, you have to
put that
punish.
into a good area for Leuchter to try and compete here. Carpenter does well, though, to see off that physical battle. Kaichawi trying to win the ball high. Diani, again, really good stuff. Holding on to possession. Takes the throw in quickly to Carpenter. Looked like a foul throw to me, but alas. And now out again for a Lyon throw. Respect the less assist. Yeah, there's no project at PSG. Baltimore, Chewinga, Jean-Francois and Diani have all left in this round of 2 years. And also says Katoto at Madrid would be mental. Yeah, it would be. I just can't see it happening. But it would give them a real chance at, or at least be a step closer to Barcelona.
Yeah. And I mean, they are making waves. The window they had this summer was a step in the right direction. If they keep building on that, then who knows?
But the problem is that they keep doing that. They keep having a whole squad rebuild. They've got to hold players for a little bit longer.
Mm.
And I think that Linda Caicedo is one of the top talents in the women's game, and she's benched way too much for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of... it's really interesting what happens over the next few years, because there's a lot of investment coming into the game. Hopefully we start to see some new teams rise to the top. Katoto tries to get the flick. Greoro, doesn't quite come off.
And I think PSG will be frustrated because over the last couple of years they've made some brilliant signings, and I think they would.
I think on paper last summer was quite successful.
Yeah,
but obviously you've got to consider they lost Sandy Baltimore, they lost Orion Jean-Francois. I think that's 2 players that they would have preferred to keep.
Yeah. I
don't know if their attack has been that functional this season.
Yeah, it's one of those where, Leuchter was linked with a lot of big moves, and PSG did so well to pick her up. Mary Earps is one of the best goalkeepers in the world on her day. And, with players like that, it just feels like PSG should be challenging more in the league. They should be challenging more in the UWCL. The fact they got knocked out this year is shameful with the same team they've got.
And the problem is, when you look at who they've been targeting this window, they were interested in Caroline, but she wasn't interested in them because they don't have Champions League football. And that's a big issue now, is the fact they don't have any Champions League football. And I think joining players, the fact that you wouldn't want to join a club in January who aren't in the Champions League now.
No.
So they're going to really struggle to recruit in January. I think it's now about next summer. But Lyon are coming forward here. Dumoulin brought down in the area, looked to clean tackle, and it's given us such good challenge there from Dudek. Ball knocked out of play.
Yeah. Very assertive, gets the ball and does well. That's the first time that Lyon have really got in behind down that left-hand side since they scored. And they've now got another corner to try and cause some more issues.
They've got presence from corners, Lyon. That's something you can definitely say. Wendy Renard in there, Gilles in there, Lindsay Horan in there. Fair bit of height. There'll be Marijan over this.
Renard already had a good chance from a corner earlier on.
Can they find her in the air, though, where she is very dominant? Marijan puts it in towards the near post. That's headed away in there by Katoto. It'll be recycled towards the back post, punched away by Mary Earps. And now it's a matter of who's quickest to react. Well, it's Lindsay Horan who goes and gets the ball. Finds Melchi Dumoulin. Gives it to Horan. That's a good tackle in there. It's not the ball out of play from Loiter. And she has as well managed to win a throw.
Yeah, came off the back of Horan's foot there. And PSG will very much like that throw, but good goalkeeping from Earps. Comes out under a challenge of a lot of bodies and gets a good punch away on that. PSG, apart from the error from Kachawi for the goal, they've defended well. They've cleared their line and they've dealt with the threat that Lyon are posing so far. But we're only 20 minutes into the game, and the power that Lyon possess is going to be hard to keep back for another 70 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Ball out of play now for another throw-in. And again, it will be PSG. Can they try and work their way up the line? Gayoro under pressure. And that's picked up by Dumonet, who manages to win a throw from it. Does well there to knock it into Dudek. And now Lyon can try and put some pressure on Carpenter. But that's just too slow in there from PSG after that throw-in.
Yeah.
They drew the bodies in but didn't play it out. So they found themselves surrounded. That's a poor clearance. What's to do on A in the box? And it's a good save from Mary Earps there to deny the Haitian forward.
PSG have got to start just clearing their line. Stop clearing it into people. That ball from that clearance should not fall back to where the bodies are. It's got to go out and centre.
It's just not been cleared.
Yeah,
it's just kicked away from where you're.
But I don't get why you kick back into where the ball's come from though. You don't clear a ball back from where it came at you from. You just get it out the opposite side, or you knock it down the pitch.
Yeah. But in fact, it doesn't really matter if you actually clear the ball.
Yeah.
Christine Endler. Header one in there. Well, by Cordonal, but it's given away though cheaply. And now here come Olympique Lyonnais, Chawinga. That was a rogue challenge from Gaetino. Lyon keep hold of the ball though. Just sort of jumped onto Lyonnais a bit quickly there. Don't think she was expecting it. Oh, sorry, Chawinga. Horan. Nice play between Horan and Marajan. One back though by PSG. Gayoro. Albert. One back in there again by Lyon. Possession exchanging hands quite quickly here. And now here is Grace Gayoro. Finds Katoto, who wants to take him on here and carrying that ball forwards. Now finds Reme Loicto. Important tackle there from Vanessa Gilles.
Does really well to step in there, Gilles, before Loicto manages to knock it past her. Really good defending. PSG once again get Katoto on that ball. She drives it forward and she causes teams problems.
And there was a good ball poked forward, only cut out by an important interception by Vanessa Gilles. So 22 minutes played. Still Lyon lead here by a goal to nil. Thanks to that early strike from Melchi Dumonet. Calling it a strike, though, is generous. It was a rather fortuitous manner in which they scored. Diamada clearing it into Melchi Dumonet. Sorry, Sakina Karchawi clearing it into Melchi Dumonet. PSG in possession now. Gaetino. Legui sends that ball forward. And that is nodded down in there by Katoto, unfortunately for them, and not to a PSG shirt. And now here come Lyon. Dumonet holds that up well. Marajan and Egarola work it between them. Here's Wendy Renard.
Just about holding on to the ball there, Lyon.
Yeah. But it's worked, and then they've got through that first line of press. And now, though, they've had to sort of reset because they didn't have the options. That's allowed PSG to get back into their shape. But you can see, as soon as they don't have the ball, PSG, it goes to more of a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3, depending on where they want to press. Horan now. And again, we see that 4-4-2 structure. Karchawi dropping in as a left back. Dialmeida, is it... who's on the right-hand side, right centre back for PSG? Gaetino pushing wider into that right-back role. Karchawi. Finds Katoto, Gaetino. That is a bit of a lifted ball. Karchawi, though, does head it down to Dudek. Dudek again, just lifting it up in the air. Headed down by Egarola, forced to Karchawi. This one back in there by Diani. Diani into Carpenter. Carpenter being forced back here by the press of Cordonal, but Horan. Good football from Olympique Lyonnais to play out. Gilles, though, caught out by a inaccurate pass there from Renard. Managed to recover it well, though. And here's Selma Batcher. Now Endler. Endler plays it out. Horan or Carpenter come narrow there. Controlled it well. Caught in the challenge, though, and that will be a free kick.
Yeah. I think a little bit of a let off. She was pulled back slightly.
Okay.
And I think she does
well. There's nothing wrong with the actual tackle.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was. I hope it was the player behind her it's been given for. But yeah, did get dispossessed a bit too easily there.
Here is Cadadia Taldiani. Lovely footwork. Dumornay now.
Well played out by Charlie. There seems to be a few of these where players move the ball on, and then for Lyon, as they play the pass and end up being brought down or fouled. Yeah. Speaking of being fouled, though, Karchaui's been clipped there by Ziani and has won the free kick. Oh, I'm not sure about that one. Linesman was given that on the near side. Not sure there's much wrong with that.
No, that was a bit of a soft one. Here is Dudek then. Will eventually take this free kick.
Yeah.
Looks like PSG could try and go long with it.
It's interesting.
Now eventually that ball is sent forward. Katoto wins the aerial battle. Gilles wins it. Katoto with a wild boot into the chest of Vanessa Gilles.
Does well to avoid the boot there. I mean, she's challenging for the ball, but it's nowhere near it.
I was going to say, it's a row tackle. Don't think she actually caught the chest. That's just where it looked like it was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, rogue one. Weird one from Katoto. Yeah. Completely unnecessary.
I don't really know how she thought she was going to win the ball back in that scenario.
Anyway, here come Lyon, Carpenter, Diani. Lovely work from Cadadia Taldiani. Now Carpenter does well there to wriggle into some space. Finds herself driving into the box. Now Horan. Lifted towards the back post. Chawinga will meet it, headed away. And that one is cleared much more convincingly by PSG. He's going to drop for Selma Batcho, who will just let that roll out of play.
Yep, nice little dummy to see that ball out.
That left finding Katoto's wild tackle there to be quite amusing.
Yeah, it was a strange one. Got away with it, I think, somewhat. I think easily could have been a yellow card.
Yeah.
27 minutes played. PSG have been in this game, and they'll be disappointed that they have conceded, but overall, they'll be very happy they are in this contest. They can definitely get something out of this match.
They are trying to drive that out of midfield. Egarola caught her, but it's deemed a fair tackle. Karchaoui wants to put pressure on Carpenter here. Forcing her back. Gilles. Renard's pass forward isn't great. And now here come PSG. Or not, as they'll go back to Marriott's.
Got to punish that. Renard was caught high. But
it's alright because someone dropped in to recover. To cover her. It's quite effective positional play.
That's different work. You get Wendy Renard stepping up into midfield.
And Egarola just dropping off. And Renard wins that aerial challenge. Aerial Gilles. And now Lyon can play. Chawinga forced back to Selma Batcher. You can see, Batcher deeper there than Renard. Renard almost going into midfield to form a passing option. Loiter, Katoto, brought down in there. Tackle deemed fair though as Selma Batcher prevented her from driving towards goal. Definitely a contentious one, and as you're about to say, I think a replay is needed there.
It looked like Katoto had just started to burst away as Batcher came across and caught her, but
Horan into Carpenter. Who's coming narrow to receive the ball, plays it in behind to Diani. Diani deemed onside here. Can she make something happen? Ball blocked by Dudek.
Let off for PSG. They stopped defending, thinking she was offside.
Which she was.
She was miles offside, so I can see why they did stop.
The right wing back almost ruling her on there, Legui, but that was offside.
Yeah.
No idea how the liner hasn't given that one.
It's been an interesting night for the officials, I think it has to be said. Nothing.
The liner on the near side has got multiple throw-ins called really wrong.
Overall, just having a fun time, sticking her flag up in whatever direction she fancies. But yeah, another corner for Lyon, however.
It's not terrible incompetent, it's just strange, because I'm not sure how they're coming to some of these conclusions. And now again, this corner will be prevented from being taken as there is pushing in the box. Diani and Legui. Now though, we can get back to the action. That's a third or fourth time now I had to stop at a corner for that pushing. And again, it's still happening at the back post. Ball in. Header down. Can they try and aim it goalwards? It is cleared away eventually by PSG. I think that ball will stay in here for Gaoro. It just about does, or apparently not.
Yeah. I mean, again, Lyon, PSG get away one here with the ball bounced around their own penalty area, hooked clear by Diamida very smartly. And again, it was, as you say, over the corner, we keep stopping at corners. I think we've come to a point where the pushing at corners has become, just part of the game, really. Obviously, not shoving someone over and walking off, but the hustle and bustle of a corner.
Well, I haven't seen a corner in years. Ball over the top, brilliant from all around. Chance with Dumoulin messes it up. Diani makes no such mistake, and it's PSG 0, Olympique Lyonnais 2. And it's Kadadia Diani with the goal. Dumoulin made a mess of it, but Diani was there to finish it off. And Lyon double their advantage. However, all credit should go to the original creator there. It was a brilliant ball over the top by Lindsay Horan. And it's why Lyon have doubled their lead.
Would love to see Chewinga's run here. I think she may have, I don't know, I think she might have cracked offside, but we will see. As you say, that was a lovely ball from Horan and well finished by Diani.
It looked at offside initially here.
Yeah, it's what
Dumoulin's run, isn't it?
No, she's timed it superbly.
Well. It's Kachawi's position there, ruling her onside. She makes a mess of it and spoons it. I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, it looks like she has intentionally.
Yeah, I think
it's the fact because her body shape is to shoot. I think she decides at the last second to square it, so her body shape looks like she's made a mess of it. It's actually a really nice pass inside to Diani.
Yeah, a lovely finish, smashes it past Mary Earps, and Lyon are 2 up in this game, and it'll be frustrating for PSG because they have been in this contest. They've pushed PSG, pushed Lyon at times, and they haven't done enough in front of goal, but they've got on the ball, they've come forward, and they haven't got anything to show for it.
Because you have nothing on this left hand side. Kachawi went inverted there, and I'm not really sure why, because they had the ball on this left hand side, Dudek. She looks up the line, and Kachawi just ran inside, so she had no passing option. Anyway, Lyon back in possession as a result. All right. And that's a poor pass from Dumoulin, and now here come Paris Saint-Germain. It's a bit scrappy in there, one back again by Lyon. There says, oh yeah, I see, it's a fake, it's genius. Well, I'd love to ask her if it's a stroke of genius or a bit of misfortune. I think it's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
It's what she was going to shoot. She decides then to pass it across, so her body shape just looks like she's made a mess of it.
I think it's one of those where if you look at, I think it either looks like she's changed her mind at the last minute and squared it, or that she was always selling the dummy of her body position going to shoot.
That's very true.
I doubt that. It didn't look like it. I think it was.
Well, it's not going to. If it's a dummy. It's a terrible dummy, but it looks like she's going to dummy it.
Good point. I just think, if anything, she made the decision was too late. I think if she was dummying it, she'd have probably made the decision earlier. But either way, it worked superbly, and Diani finished. Yeah. It was a risky decision because Karchawi was running in and could have easily just picked that ball off Diani.
Could have easily passed it back to Dumoulin again, though. So maybe a great decision.
Yeah, well, slid across, not
1-2.
Yeah. But Either way, it's in the back of the net, and Lyon doing what they've done so well this season is getting an early goal and then just building themselves into the game, getting a second goal to give them a cushion, and they'll now be eyeing up a perfect half, go and get another goal and blow PSG out of the water in this first 45. Carpenter's driving the ball forwards yet again, way too much space for her to do that. She just picked the ball up and driven forward 15 yards without no one putting under pressure.
Yeah. Too easy at the moment.
And then she just floats inside and finds herself in a lovely pocket of space on the edge of the area.
Lovely footwork from Marijan. Ball into the box. Dumoulin can't quite get there. Here's Carpenter. The difference is we're seeing Karchaoui and Carpenter both inverting. It's really interesting to watch. The difference is PSG are doing it. Chance now for Lyon. Really nice link up there between Dumoulin and a chance for Aguero to shoot, but she has made a mess of it.
Yeah, and I think she'll be frustrated because it's a lovely flick around the corner from Dumoulin and the shot. I mean, Aguero not known for her goal-scoring exploits, but just drags it wide, looking for the far corner.
Yeah.
Falls off balance while she shoots as well.
Yeah. As I was saying on Carpenter and Karchaoui, the difference is PSG don't have any width because they're inverting a left wing back. And so they don't have a winger and they don't have a fullback. And so it just means you've got no one on this left-hand side when they're building up because Karchaoui is coming inverted. When she plays out wide, she's receiving the ball, but it seems that she's always in a 1v2. And that's happening on both fullback, on both wide areas. And that's where Lyon are really dangerous, is in those wide channels at the moment. The difference with Carpenter inverting is that Diane's holding the rich really nicely. And Carpenter is doing that dual role really nicely. Sometimes she's out wide, sometimes she comes inside. It's where the space is, it's where she wants to operate. If Diane's slightly more narrow, working on that pocket, then Carpenter can overlap. But if Diane's holding the width, which she has done a lot tonight very successfully, then Carpenter can drive inside into that middle place or into that pocket and then look to impact the game from that sort of area. So it's nice because it's giving them options. It's giving them. It's making it difficult for PSG to handle them on this side, especially with Karchaoui not sticking to her position.
It's bizarre
in possession. It's causing issues.
It's bizarre for me for PSG to have such a massive tactical flaw against Joe Montemurro, who will find it and will exploit it incredibly, and that's exactly what's happened in this match.
Well, they just seem to be outnumbered in every area of the pitch. Because you're outnumbered in the wide areas, because you're playing one wing back on each side against a full back and a winger.
Yeah.
They seem to be outnumbered in midfield. Because Gayoro's playing almost as a attack midfielder, and then you've got a midfield two against Lyon's three, who are able to go player for player in there. And because of the way they press and the effectiveness of their press, they're making it really difficult for PSG to play in there. And so the only advantage they have in terms of players is in that back three, which in possession isn't serving them very well. It's just not, their build-up phase at the moment isn't making sense to me, PSG. Once they get into the final third, they look really dangerous because they've got a lot of attacking talent in there. And so they look like a really good side. But when they build up, it's way too easy for Lyon to win the ball back. And that's the difference at the moment. And that's why we're seeing these sustained attacks for Lyon that we haven't seen for PSG. I think their overall shape, their out of possession, and their build-up phase isn't there at the moment against a side who are playing at an elite level here, Lyon.
Yeah, foul given there against Gayoro, I think it's a pretty harsh one. Gayoro herself is falling over, and as she off balance, she catches I think it's Egarola in there with her arm, and it's been. I think it's an unfortunate one, that.
Yeah, Damaris Egarola just caught in the face. Lev there saying Egarola should be starting for the Dutch national team, but our coach is smoking something not to pick her.
Is that Yonkers?
Andreas Yonkers, I think it's Andreas Yonkers. Yeah.
Is he still there?
Is it Yonkers? Yeah, because it's Mark Parsons, wasn't it? And now it's Yonkers, I think.
Is it Yonkers or Yonga? I can't remember now.
I think it's Yonkers.
Yonkers.
I can't remember. I did a podcast with Jan Keys talking about this, and now I can't remember.
Spoke about it for an hour with a Dutch journalist.
Yeah. But to be fair, the majority of that was talking about Serena Wiegand. Yeah, we did talk briefly about Yonkers and the Netherlands. But yeah. Jasmine says, are you both having a good weekend so far, my friends? Keep hitting that like button, people, and subscribe to the channel. Indeed, do make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you haven't hit that like button, then make sure to do so as well. Here come PSG. Nice work there from Gayoro. Has Karchaoui now in support. Ball whipped in towards the far post. Headed down. It's going to fall in there.
What a tackle. What a tackle that is initially to...
And that is aggressive from Dumoulin, and that will be a foul.
Who was that? I think it was Egarola again, who manages just to get something on it and get in the way of the on-rushing Grennan. And it's a really good... It's not necessarily an interception. She doesn't win the ball back, but she does enough to put Grennan off, and then Horan comes in and takes the ball away. Really solid defending.
Yeah. When you watch that back, that wasn't really a push from Duvernay. She had her hand on her, and she takes it away, and then that sort of causes the player to fall, because Dudek was leaning on her. Bit of an odd one, that. Alas. Riley went to the stream, says, hello, Jack and Harry, hope you're doing well. We're doing great. Welcome back to the stream, Riley. Good to see you. And of course, remember, we are back tomorrow for the WSL. Leicester City versus Tottenham, followed up by a late evening stream for the Manchester derby. It is very good to be back. We're live tonight. We're live again tomorrow. We're live in the week for the League Cup. Chance for PSG here. Can they keep this ball alive? Endler with some good goalkeeping. Offside is the call.
Yeah, good call. The PSG went way too early. So if that ball hadn't been deflected, it would have fallen straight to 3 offside players. Oh, no, that is a terrible call. The player who actually falls to is not offside at all.
Yeah, she's been caught out though.
Okay.
Again, I don't know what's happening with the line tonight.
I see. Only Diamida was offside, and it was. I think again, it's an odd decision, especially because it was deflected through as well. So 2 reasons there that potentially I think that would have been an okay passage of play, but PSG have done this again. They've conceded, and then they've gone on to have a really good, next few moments.
Yeah,
and. But they're just not doing enough with it. They've got... Oh, that's a poor pass from Renard. Does want to recover, though. It's incredible how easily she makes a mistake and then just goes, oh, it's all right, I'll just make up for it and win the ball back.
Lienzo in chat, by the way, Kumagai to London City Lionesses. Apparently, Sake Kumagai is linked now with the London City Lionesses. I thought she was headed to the NWSL. A brilliant footballer. No idea how they pulled that one off. Michelle Kang
does it again.
Yeah, she can't be stopped. She's going to buy all of the footballers, and there won't be any left, and then all their teams will win.
Yeah.
Ball into the box now from PSG. Karchawi. Can't compete there with Carpenter as well, though, to stop her getting up the line.
Do you think that's also... Because obviously Michelle Kang is also owner of Lyon, right? Do you think that's why she went and stole the PSG manager and put him in at the London City Lionesses, just help Lyon out as well?
Possibly. It's for like a Toto next to the London City Lionesses.
Genuinely, I won't be... Next year in the Championship.
Well, that's the thing. It's why isn't it working yet at London City? Is it too much, too quickly? Chance now, brilliant run from Chawinga. Shifts it to Diani. Diani takes aim into the side netting. Got to go across goal there. Yeah. Surely got to go across goal there. Because either Earp saves it and spills it, or she doesn't and it's in the back of the net.
What a run from Chawinga. Manages to beat 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. Diani's in way too much space. Again, and a shot.
You can see she's gone there for the top corner. And if he finds it, it's a brilliant goal. And we're all praising her. For me, though, she's got to go across goal there. Because the way she strikes it, by swiping across it, that's going to spin on it. It's going to be very difficult for Earps to catch that. I bet she's going to parry it away. And then that's going to parry into oncoming Lyon attackers. So
Dumoulin keeps standing like in the way or anything.
It's like a 6-yard Alex says, Jack and I, what do you think about Corbin Albert? I think she is overrated and some hyper to WSL clubs. I will remove any bias from this. I don't think she's particularly good. I can't see any WSL club signing her for many reasons. In terms of her on-field, her as a footballer, I think there is some talent there. I think she is limited, though. I don't think she's a top... I don't think she's world-class in any aspect of her game. And so that, for me, is a problem. She's a decent passer. She's got a decent engine. I think that she makes a good midfielder. And for the bottom half of the WSL, she'd be a huge addition. But I don't think she's there for the top clubs. And no one in the bottom half could afford her.
Yeah.
So... I don't think that would happen. I also don't think any clubs would take that PR hit. We saw what happened when she came to Wembley. She was booed very loudly by the England fans. Myself included, of course, in that. But, I can't see her coming to the WSL.
No, I think a very useful player, a player who can do a very handy job when needed to and can cover very well, but as you say, doesn't really have that X factor in any part of her game. Just a very useful player. You know, we see her play that role for the UWNT. That kind of, you know, she's not starting, but she does come in and do a shift if they're missing players, or, you know, if they've got half an hour to go and they're trying to see out a game.
Yeah. Yeah, completely agree.
PSG will be frustrated that they're 2 goals down, because they have been in this game.
Does well, is then caught by a Garola.
And I think this should be the first yellow card of the evening.
I don't think it will be. They're not given many fouls here tonight.
No, but yeah.
Lyon have been very...
will be.
There's 2 yellow cards out there. Why does she have 2?
Because it's the book.
It's the book yellow.
The book. Yeah, she's got a yellow book, so it should write on the inside of the card. But yeah, the first yellow, rightfully so. It's a really poor tackle.
No end of all.
Yeah, just hacks her down.
And the way she I think, again, the way she goes down there as well has an impact. The fact she does sort of land on the ball, end up landing on her head.
It's a roly-poly.
I think that has an impact. But like without that, it was a really poor tackle.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. Rise says, France has some proper ballers. They should be doing better on the international stage. They really should be. They should be up there as one of the top contenders this summer at the Euros. I think will be. I think they'll be strong. I don't. But the thing is, they're not as functional tactically as an England, as a Spain, as a Germany, who I think have all proven themselves to be really strong forces on the international stage in the last 5 years. I don't think we've seen that really from France in that period. We've not, you know, we've seen more from Netherlands in that time.
Well, that's the thing. If you ask me, out of that group, you know, England, Netherlands, or France, who's going to be the one that has to fall? For me, right now, I would say France. I'd favour England, Netherlands to get through over the French, but they've got a point to prove. They come to this tournament.
You've got a really young Netherlands side against what I would consider quite an experienced French team. It's going to be really interesting to see how that matchup goes.
Yeah.
I think that Yonkers is a very good manager, or at least looks to have some really good ideas. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. PSG unable to make anything happen from that free kick. Lyon looking to play out one back quickly, though, by PSG. Ryan says, Albert can score a bang every once in a while. She's an interesting one. She's not at top level. She should go to the US. They won't boo her there. She'll be crowd favourite, in fact. Yeah. Yeah, especially in a Republican US, I think. She'll be heralded. There, Renard was a strong win in there. Yeah, it's definitely a foul.
Although the flag has gone up, so a bit of a let-off for Lyon. Because PSG would have themselves a free kick of their own.
Yeah.
A half that I think it looks more comfortable for Lyon than it has been. I think the stats will favour Lyon heavily because PSG haven't done too much in front of goal, but I do think in terms of the competitiveness and the combativeness, PSG have been in this football match.
Ball in. That is just not dealt with in there, and then it is deemed offside anyway for Lyon. Lev says France have the players, but just haven't been lucky at all, you know. I think the problem for France is they just lack creativity. I remember watching them at the Olympics, and the problem is they've got Selma Bacha and they've got Sekina Kaichawi. 2 brilliant players, but they play the exact same position. And the problem is they try and fit them both in by playing one of them in midfield or something like that. This is Messi from PSG. They've given the ball away up the pitch. Lyon with a chance. One back by PSG. But they just lack creativity. You know, they play Sondy Baltimore on the left wing, who I think has done very well at Chelsea as a left back. But
you've got 3 left backs now.
They've got all the left backs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think can be a very creative player, but it's 2 stop start on the wing to be really dangerous against elite fullbacks, I think. I quite like a stop start style. It can work, but I just don't think she's explosive enough to be able to beat elite fullbacks. And so, I don't think she has the desired impact. Anyway, that is half time here in Paris. It's Paris Saint-Germain 0, Olympique Lyon 8-2. It's a game where PSG's poor defending has cost them, but Lyon's excellent attacking players have been able to capitalise on that wonderfully, and they've been causing some real big issues. So at the break, Lyon lead by 2-0, and this would be very damning for the Première Ligue title race.
Yeah, very much so. I think a scoreline that makes Lyon look very, very comfortable in this football match so far, but will be frustrating for PSG. They are in this game and they will feel like they shouldn't be 2 goals down. I think 1 goal down they can come back if they're both level at half-time. They're still in the match. To be 2 goals down, while it is the most dangerous scoreline in football, it's going to take a lot for PSG now to score at least 2 goals against a Lyon side who have conceded 3 all season. So they do very well now, PSG. It is a long way back, but they've been in this game, and if they can just start to cause a few more issues in that final third, because when they have come forward, they've looked dangerous, but in terms of actually getting shots off and trying to test Christine Endler...
Exactly, they haven't yet.
Yeah.
They've not put a shot on target. You can't score if you don't have a shot on target. It's quite simply, and unless, of course, the other team are scoring own goals. But they've had 3 shots all game. Compare that to Lyon's 7. Lyon have had 4 on target to PSG's none. Simply put, shots are eventually going to end in goals.
Yeah.
And Lyon have had more of those. They've had better quality shots. They've had better quality opportunities as well. But yeah, PSG have sort of been the masters of their own downfall. A lot of Lyon's best plays have come from winning the ball high up the pitch against a PSG side who have not been very productive, especially in that build-up phase. I think they're really struggling to play out. Again, I know Lyon are a very proficient pressing unit, but PSG just haven't had any answers to those questions posed by that Lyon press. I'll be very intrigued to see what if anything changes at half time. I think that for Montemurro it'd be very much all the same, but I think PSG want to make some changes. I'd be surprised if they come out and play the exact same way in the second half.
Yeah, very much so. As you say, they've got to try something different at this point in a game that is so crucial if they have any hope of winning the Premier League title.
Gabriel's got to be pragmatic.
Yeah, very much so. Got to change something. Got to make Joe Montemurro think, because at the end of the day, he's sitting there having a way of the time going, we're playing brilliant football, we're in control, and we should see this game out and go 7 points clear of Paris FC. PSG will find themselves slipped to 3rd in the table, which will be another which again, not only will it... That's the worry for them.
Any chance of them being in the Champions League.
And they're going to find it very difficult to stay inside that top 3 that does get UWCL qualification.
They should be all right. I think the top 4 gets qualification, don't they? Because do they have a championship playoff? I feel like they may have something like that.
I can't remember.
But yeah, they've on FootMob the top 4 qualify for a championship playoff. I'm not 100% on what that means, but I don't know if all those will qualify for Champions League or it's just the top 3.
Maybe.
But I don't know. But either way, I think PSG, they're 6 points of Dijon, they should be all right in that regard.
They should be.
But they'll want to be second, they'll want to compete for titles. They're nowhere near Lyon at the moment. They'll be 8 points off today. Lyon will be 7 clear of everyone. It's a real... It's looking good for Lyon, but it's not quite fishy.
Yeah, no, it's not. And in a season where I think you can argue they've already gone backwards, saying that last season they were UWCL semi-finalists and this season they didn't even make the proper tournament. If we then look at a season where they've gone from 2nd to 3rd and the gap, the points difference between them and PSG has got even larger, them and Lyon has got even larger, it's going to be really, really damning. And there's going to be a lot of work to do. And, while they're bringing in brilliant additions, they're trying to make signings that are going to close that gap between them and Lyon. They've got to be careful that they don't actually end up slipping away, and it's a bizarre scenario for them to find themselves in.
Yeah. Alex asking, was this Montemurro guy or as he's put Montezuma? Was this Montemurro guy a good coach at Arsenal? Yeah, well, he won a WSL, he won a League Cup, he came runner-up to lots of things against Emma Hayes, which is normal for any WSL manager at the moment, but yeah, he was a good coach.
Yeah, he's one of those where he didn't get to showcase how good he was because of a certain manager called Emma Hayes.
And because of just how good Chelsea were in that period.
Joe Montemurro is a top coach. He's got better and better with each job that he's taken, and that is showing at Lyon the fact that he's come into this side that and replaced Sonia Bonpastor pretty well, and that is a hard thing to do.
But with that said, he's never been right at the sharp end of the Champions League. He went to Juventus after that. They won a title. They won a cup. He's never had sustained success, which is where it's going to be really interesting to see whether this Lyon side will continue to build in the same way. Obviously, there's a difference there because Lyon have been so dominant in this league, and have the biggest, most investment in this league, and stuff like that. But they have had, he's never had sustained success. He's also never competed right at the sharp end in the Champions League. And that's why it does make me question this season. If it's Bonpastor versus Montemurro in a one-off game, who gets the better there tactically?
That's a hell of a question.
Because I think in those big moments, Bonpastor is more proven. And does that make a difference?
Yeah.
Even if you make the argument that Lyon are a stronger side than Chelsea, which I think is very marginal right now. And if Chelsea were to get Naomi Goma, it would be even less marginal. I think that would be incredibly tight between the two sides. But I think in a one-off game or over two legs, does Bonpastor get the edge over Montemurro tactically? Possibly.
I think this is the closest we've had the three teams over the last few years in terms of, I think, Chelsea, Lyon and Barcelona.
Well, yeah, because Barcelona have changed manager. I think
that's exactly why.
They're still, for me, have to be considered favourites.
Oh, of course. They've won it for the last...
but the fact they lost to City, I think that shows a crack in the armour. I know they haven't lost in the Liga F this season, but that doesn't surprise anyone.
Miracles don't happen every day.
I was going to say, but yeah, I think it does look like the gap at the moment is as close as it has been for a few years between those top three sides. It's been a while since we had that. It would be probably 2019, 2020, that sort of period where we had Wolfsburg, Lyon, Barcelona, and the three of them were very close. So yeah, it's nice to have that again. Hopefully we'll see more sides right at the sharp end. If City keep recruiting in the way they are, that could be a very dangerous prospect as well. If Arsenal can get some of that, will be very dangerous. But yeah, it's been interesting. TCN says, yes, there's a 14 playoff in the Arkema Premier League. Not sure if it determines the Champions League qualifying spots. You'd have to assume it's semi-finals, final, and the semi-finals will play a third place for Champions League, right? We'll have like a third place playoff or Champions League playoff, and the top two will play for the title.
See, that's
I would assume that's how it's working.
Because you could win the league, win the title, but potentially not qualify for... No, because you'd still get... I don't know.
We could potentially not.
Potentially, yeah, I suppose.
Well, I think it is to win the title, isn't it? The title winner has to win that game.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, so you have the league season and it goes into a top four fight.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Ryan says, what's more important to winning the UWCL, tactics or better players? Because if it's players, Barca still win. That's a very difficult question to answer, and again, it's a matter of opinion. I think it's tactics. I think it's man management. I think obviously the players are going to make a difference. But you can have the best side in the world, but if they don't know what they're doing tactically, if they're not motivated in that game, they'll lose it.
For me, it's a bit of both. I think it's one of those where the team who, as we saw with Emma Hayes' Chelsea beating Barcelona at the Nou Camp away last season, the setup can massively have an impact, and the team who are tactically better set up could prevail. But at the end of the day, the teams who have those X factor players who can just score a goal from nothing do upset that slightly.
Well, that's what we saw. I think back to those Champions League semi-finals last season. Chelsea got the better of Barcelona in one game, but then the second leg, yes, I'm not going to mention the name Elena Dimitrescu. I don't think we need to, but overall, the quality of that Barcelona side shone through. It wasn't without controversy, but they did get that job over the line,
and that's what they've done. That's what they do. At the end of the day, they are obviously their tactics. They have been over the last couple of years. They've been tactically superb, but they have more X Factor players than anyone else, and that can make a difference. Yeah. But I just think that the tactical difference between Barcelona and the other two teams could level it out slightly. And I think Joe Montemurro, from a Lyon point of view, will view this as his big chance. As you say, he hasn't got to the sharp end of the UWCL, but when you look at the sides that he's had, it has been very difficult to break in. He's had an Arsenal side and a Juventus side who... I think with the Arsenal side, they weren't in the best side in the country, and they were trying to break into a top three of Wolfsburg, Lyon, and Barca, which was going to be impossible. And
especially with Chelsea closer to that anyway.
Exactly, and Juventus, they were never even in the conversation to win the UWCL title.
There just hasn't been the investment yet.
With Lyon, Montemurro now has the team to prove that he can fight at the sharp end, that he can win the biggest trophy in women's European football, and if he can do that this year, then hats off to him. This is a massive chance, and I think he'll look at it that way. He'll look at it as this is his chance to, yes, people know who he is, and we know he's a good manager, but this is his first chance to lay down a marker and to really, slap his name on the table up there with some of the top coaches in the world.
Yeah.
But again, that's all talk. If he doesn't deliver that, then none of that happens. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think there is pressure there, but also the fact that it is only his first season, you've got to consider that.
Yeah.
I think he will intend to be there for a few years and try and build something there. Whether or not that will come to fruition, we'll have to see. But it's definitely looking like positive early signs. TCN says, I've just checked. The UEFA spots are 1 winner of the playoffs final, 2 winner of the regular season, and except winner of playoffs, and second place of the regular season except winner of playoffs. Very confusing. I'm guessing that it's first and second unless one of those wins the playoffs, in which case third gets it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Which is because 3 teams always get, like, you think about it.
So it should be the highest 2 in the table that don't win the playoff.
Yeah. Which is usually Lyon win the playoffs, so it ends up being just the top 3.
Yeah. Like every other league.
Yeah. Which
but I guess 3rd and 4th could also be quite interesting.
Yeah, it could be.
But anyway.
I mean, Paris FC are putting themselves in a great position to get themselves some European football.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they have it the last few years.
They've been up there. They've just not quite been able to. This season, they weren't able to get into the proper competition, were they?
Mm.
And then obviously, they'll be hoping to get back into it last in the next season before last season. Sorry, they're really good. Then they got into the group stage. They'll be hoping to do that again next year. Rice, the second leg was a farce. Completely agree. But we will not get into that today. Les says, Liga ref really is just let's give the reserves a chance competition for Barcelona. They sub the good players in come second half and still win. That is, I mean, I've said that loads of times. I constantly get criticised by Barcelona fans because they're desperately trying to protect the integrity of their league. However, I think for anyone, if you just watch the games, it's clear there's a quality disparity. If you look at the scorelines, it's clear there's a quality disparity. It's simple fact that they've lost like 5 games since 2020 in all competitions.
And I think
it's frankly ridiculous.
The important thing is that, like, it's not saying that Barcelona would struggle in the WSL or struggle in the division in feminin. In the Première Ligue, but it would be more difficult. That's the argument. We're not saying that Barcelona would finish outside the top 3 in the WSL. No, they wouldn't. Let's be honest. They'd be right up there.
Well, they'd be favourites to win it. But the difference is, when competing for the Champions League, you take last season, Chelsea was still in a very contentious title fight. They were level on points with Manchester City up until the end.
Second.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it's really difficult to compete then on 2 fronts. Barcelona had won it by February, pretty much. They won it by November for all intents and purposes. So it does help because you can rest up in that competition. You can put less priority on it. And you can play a second time and still win the Liga F.
And that's why tonight is also very important for Lyon, because they could find themselves in the luxury of that kind of position if they do end up 7 points clear. And that can make the difference. We've seen it make the difference for Barcelona, or be one of the differing factors in the last few years. Lyon have got a huge opportunity tonight to afford themselves that cushion that Barcelona are so used to having.
Yeah, indeed. Riley said it's been a boring transfer window for Chelsea, but I've enjoyed women's football Twitter, head loss and crash outs over the Germa rumours. Yeah, it has been an interesting time. Hopefully there is something to the Naomi Germa rumours. Chelsea have only got another week and a half, though, of the transfer window to try and work that out. It would be a huge signing if it does come through, though. And
deadline day is always spicy. Even if Chelsea don't do anything, there'll be transfers happen. Deadline. I still think there's a few big moves to come this window.
Yeah. And people saying that was Alex in chat saying the Jule Brandt to City rumours are wild this week. Nobody knows what she prefers. Maybe still Bayern. It's interesting, isn't it? I think City would be a good destination for her.
Yeah.
They've just signed Caroline, which opens up questions there. If they were to get both, though, that's a really strong attack all of a sudden.
Yeah, it would
because you'd have Hemp, Caroline, Fowler, Shaw, Jule Brandt, and
Fagino.
Yeah, I guess Fagino's in there, Miedemar,
Yeah.
Which are coming through. Though, it's a really strong attack.
And then suddenly it takes the reliance off of a lot of Hemp and Shaw.
Yeah, and Kelly is definitely gone.
Yeah.
I think that this window's made that quite apparent. Could PSG be a potential destination for it? It's been rumoured.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But I'm intrigued to see what's going on there. She came in and started the Ipswich game, and I think I don't think she'll start tomorrow. I think it will be Fowler on that right hand side, but we'll see. I definitely think she's gone. But as you say, I think it would be a great pickup for PSG as long as they're not going to carry on continuing playing this 3-5-2 formation.
Well, obviously they wouldn't be able to if they've got Chloe Kelly. But if they lose Katoto, then they will only have one striker anyway that they want to start.
So it looks to be a change for Lyon.
And I think some of Atcha's just having a chat with Joe Montemurro here.
She was coming off, but we will see. Yeah, she's coming up. Oh, she's taking a shirt.
I was going to say, it doesn't...
I don't know.
They've not made a sub. I think they're waiting... He was talking... Montemurro there was talking to the fourth official. Maybe they are making a change.
Yeah, they are making a change.
Some of Atcha's come out for the second half and has either decided she doesn't want to play the second half, potentially for injury, or Montemurro decided to make a change. Yeah, but either way, nobody seems to be aware of that.
No, there's an inch. She's coming for the second half. Clear. It definitely wasn't planned. It's injury or illness related. You feel, but yeah, a surprise change that I think has caught everybody out, including Montemurro. He put his 11 out there. He's walked out. He's looked behind him, and Batcher's there telling him that she's not going to continue.
Yeah, but in Zvava they have got a really nice option in that position, so they should be absolutely fine. But Samuel Batcher not out then for the second half.
It's been interesting. Hard as a substitute, who, they would have been running around at half time, but wouldn't have been prepared to come on. Half time subs would have been put through a good warm up because they know they're coming on. So thrown straight into the action here, by surprise, you feel really. Yeah,
we'll be interested to see how they adapt. I think Samuel Batcher is such a big part of how they play. We'll be interested to see how Sophie Zvava settles into this game then. Either way, she's going to have to do it quickly because PSG will be keen to try and get something in this second half. But it will be Olympique Lyonnais who get us back underway. Melchior Dominé knocks it back and we're back underway here at the Parc des Princes. It is Paris Saint-Germain 0, Olympique Lyonnais 2. So PSG with work to do. Lyon, though, in the driving seat.
Yeah. Big half of football. Yes, PSG may concede 3 goals, but you never know. 3 goals this season. But if PSG can find 2, suddenly it's good. Even 1 goal, I think, for PSG changes the game dramatically.
Dominé tries to poke that through. Really good defending in there from Gaetano.
Did just go out for a throw. Avoids giving away a corner there.
There's Zvava. Waiting for an option. Goes into Chawinga. One back by Albert. Can't quite keep it on the pitch though.
Leather's out of play. I think it looked like she was trying to knock out the line. But...
Once it crossed the line anyway, she decided to leather it into the crowd. Renard loses the ball. Smashed forward by Jackie Grön and they want to get out here. Oh, I think that's called an out again. Here's Gilles. Gilles tries to play it forward. And that is a ball in there. Albert got a touch and pokes it out of play. So Lyon with a throw. Waits for Melchior Dominé to drop in there. Now back to Zvava. And again, PSG knocking it out of play. Here is Chawinga. Skips past Gaetano there. Ball into the box. It's going to drop for Carpenter. No, it won't. Gaora with an important challenge. And there's a foul anyway in there. Diani on Diarmida.
Gaora was running a long way there.
Oh,
knock on effect.
Nasty one in there. It wasn't Diarmida, sorry. It was Dudak.
Yeah.
Just got caught there with the shoulder.
Knocked by Diani into her Karchawi. Yeah, hopefully she's right. But yeah, again now, I thought PSG don't seem too frustrated by it, but it looked like Gaora was taking the ball down the left hand side and was happy to run with it. Yeah.
But I guess it's a concussion. You can't really do anything about that. That is a nasty connection of the shoulder to the face.
I think it was more that she gave. Well, she might not. She might not have given a free kick. Might have stopped the game, but Yeah. It's been a tough one defensively for PSG. They have been stretched. They have been tested. And Lyon have got the better of them a couple of times.
Yeah. Lev says, on Dead Under, we'll see Kelly pulling an Odin Wingy and churning up at the Emirates car park. That would be brilliant. Riley says, I was watching another channel earlier and the Chelsea fan said we need another right wing. Thoughts? What channel is that, Riley? I'm intrigued to hear the reasoning. But I don't think we're desperate for another right winger. We've got Jonara Tinkanari, who I think is a quality player. We've got Kat Makari who can play there. We've got Akibu Jones who can play there. I don't think Chelsea are desperate for a right winger. Unless someone's going this summer. But Carnari's got an optional contract extension, and I think Chelsea will likely trigger that. Or I believe may have already done that. And so, yeah, and that is poor there from Lyon. Brilliant pressure from Gordon Albert, and now here come PSG. And that's a poor pass forward.
Just didn't. She was very focused on trying to get that ball to Leutner and didn't really realise that there were potentially other options there. But well won back in there by Gaetano.
And it falls to Albert again. Wants to take on players here. Up against Renard. That's a rogue shot and it goes wide.
And again, it's really tidy football, but on her weak foot, she's got to realise that she's not going to bend it with her weak foot into that top left corner. Lay it into Katoto, who's got, that's a missed opportunity. I didn't actually see it at the time, but watching it there, Katoto was asking for it in a really good area of space, and she would have had the time to bring it down and shoot. Albert's just got to look up there. But good start from PSG. They've started the second half well, and they're doing the right things. They've got to come on to Lyon and get a goal as soon as possible and get themselves back into this game. That is a superb switch of the play from Wendy Renard.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
Wants to take players on here. It's one back though, and PSG will look to play out. One high by Carpenter, who gets past Karchawi. Ball into the box now. Horan wants to meet it. It's going to fall in there for Svavo, who takes aim. It's blocked again. Ball in from Chawinga. Dumornay heads towards goal. Headed wide, though.
Again, PSG do the initial bit of defending superbly and then just try and overplay it. Dudek won the ball off Diani and then they just get caught playing out of back and eventually it's well worked by Lyon. Dumornay does well to flick it goalwards, but it should have done very well to get it on target. And then
one high again here by Lyon. Diani. Sorry to cut you off. I thought they were going to have a better chance than that. But Lyon in possession, half the field. That's how to play. There'll be a Lyon throw, though. Diani key to get proceedings back underway. But it's one back there by PSG, and PSG will look to break Rome Leutner. Her touch isn't great. It's a miscommunication, and it's now Melchi Dumornay's ball to do with what she wishes. Here is Carpenter. Gianni back towards Carpenter. Karchawi will poke that out for a corner.
PSG, they're shooting themselves in the foot, and it's even from a news point of view, it's hard to watch. You want to see a brilliant game, and there's a huge opportunity there for them to break away, and it's just a complete mishap between Albert and Leutner, and neither of them know what to do, and they end up losing the ball again. They've just got to start the whole possession, and I don't know what incredible tactic we're going to see from the corner here, but Renard is going around whispering to everyone. Lyon corner, and they've clearly got a new plan here that Renard has shared around. So let's see what is going to come of this set piece.
A Renard masterclass. Ball into the box. It's not quite found Wendy Renard. Dumornay keeps it alive. Gianni goes for an audacious attempt. Doesn't quite come off.
Don't think that was quite the plan in mind, but it nearly worked.
Yeah. Riley, thank you for the suggestion, the channel suggestion. I'll make sure to check that bit. I'll make sure to check that video out later. I'm intrigued. But yeah, De Almeida. PSG in possession. Dudek to Earps, back to Dudek. Again, Karchawi's inverted, and there's nothing on the left-hand side. There is nothing in that wide space, in that wide zone. I don't know what they're expecting to happen. Katoto pulled wide to receive that long pass, but there's just no one out there. It's so bizarre. and they just seem to be neglecting the fact they might want to have something in that channel to pass to.
Yeah. And it's a missed opportunity because PSG have been in this game, but as you say, they've got it wrong tonight in certain aspects. If they've got those areas, if they've got it right in those areas, they could be causing a lot of problems.
But also, if your left winger is going to invert, your left wing back is going to invert, and you're not, this is a good chance of PSG. Ball into the box, should be finished off. It's not. Gayoro to Karchawi, puts it into the area, headed away, and then cleared away. But if your left wing back isn't going to be on the left wing, why keep playing on the left hand side? Karchawi puts the ball across the box, no one reacts.
Again, missed. There's an opportunity.
They keep playing to the left centre half and do that, and there's nothing down the line.
But again, there PSG, good opportunity, and they haven't got a single shot out of that whole passage. And the ball went across the Lyon box 3 times, and they didn't get a single shot at the goal. It's really bizarre. Someone's just got to get something on it and just shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that was meant to be a shot from...
And someone back out to the subs bench, hobbling, which isn't a incredibly convincing sign. And I think that will be worrying for Olympique Lyonnais fans. Ryan says, call me old school, but I hate inverted fullbacks with multiple hates in there. I prefer my fullbacks to be on the flanks, making overlapping runs. That's not even particularly old school. I like an inverted fullback. It's quite fun. Very fun. When used effectively, I think it can be. When used successfully, I think it can be very effective. I don't think it's being used very well here.
No, I'll be honest.
I like an inverted fullback.
Don't really have a preference. It means the side play better football, then I'm for it.
Yeah, it just depends on the shape, depends on the structure, depends what you want to do. If you've got 2 wingers who are very good operating in the wide space, then why have overlapping fullbacks?
In a game like tonight, I'd have had Karchawi hugging that touchline and getting up and down.
Well, yeah, because they don't have anyone on the left space, in that left wide space. Chance for Lyon from the corner. It will drop in there for Chawinga. Can she gain sight of goal? No, Albert will play that out. And now Katoto to run down this left-hand side. Gilles, though, does force her back. Now they're in possession, though. Gayoro. Kachawi.
Ball.
Gayoro.
Can she find the switch?
Couldn't quite find that pass that wide, but does.
Really good.
Through a triangle, and now here they can come forwards. Legui wants to take on Wendy Renard. Does well there to not be muscled off. It's a strong tackle from Renard, but she'll get away with it. Dumournet competing there. And, well, Jackie Groenen fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, she's been given a free kick as well. And this is the other...
That looked like a foul. I saw Gaetino there. Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate because Dumournet is already on her way down.
I'm not. I think it may have just been. Is it a free kick?
Yeah, it's been given it weird. But then again, it's bizarre because the linesman on the near side has seen the same incident and been absolutely happy to give a throw.
Renard.
That's a great knock. Risky, but it's a great knock, and it hasn't worked out.
Carpenter. It's Carpenter's pass forward that doesn't quite come off. Here's Gayoro. Gayoro can play it wide into Loikta. Brilliant tackle from Wendy Renard. Frankly, ridiculous. Chawinga competing in there. Gaetino is involved in a lot of physical battles. Gayoro gets involved. A strong tackle from Agarola. And well,
no fouls.
I love that. Yeah, I love the feistiness there in that battle. Neither side wants to give the other an inch in the midfield.
No. If PSG get a goal, this game gets very interesting. Well, Lyon are coming forwards again and looking for a third.
Indeed. Dumournet knocks it wide. Carpenter to Horan. Horan into the box. Claimed well by Merriapps.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for PSG. There is time, but then I think they want to score that first goal pretty quickly if they are to stand a chance of getting a win. I mean, I think they'll take a point from this position.
Yeah.
I mean, Paris FC would be the biggest winners if this was a draw. Lovely stuff from Katoto. against Renard, though.
So born to the box. Caught there by Renard. It's another one. Renard just put in a poor challenge and got away with it.
I mean,
The rest not even looking.
the linesman on the near side is 5 yards away from that. That's a stonewall free kick. And I love Wendy Renard, and she's usually very accurate with her tackling, but that is a poor tackle.
Yeah. And that's the second one now.
Mm. PSG done well to hold on to it, though. They just can't seem to find a way to get through. To get through that initial... That last line of defence. That is a lovely ball down the line to Karchawi, though. That's the way you do it.
Chowie, ball into the box. It's the right sort of area, but no one making the run onto it. There's no one to aim for in there. Everyone was marked quite well. And there wasn't much movement.
And you had, I think it was Gurlin in there who blocked it and then didn't actually realise where the ball had fallen and probably could have got there if they'd worked out where the ball was.
Yeah. Riley's saying, how much longer can Lyon use this Endler, Renard and Gilles combination?
Forever at this rate, but...
I think there are signs of Renard's regression, though. She is 34 now.
We've seen when the likes of Kototo get on the ball and they get in behind, Renard does struggle to recover.
I still think Gilles got a good few years left. She's 28. I think she could play another 5 years. I think, obviously, with goalkeepers, it's different, but at 33, Endler isn't losing her touch.
No.
So I think they'll probably be all right there. The question mark is, how do you replace someone like Wendy Renard? And this is the problem I think Lyon have, though, right now, is why would Germa join? Because she doesn't... Gilles and Renard are such a good partnership. And while obviously there are rotation minutes to go round, why would Germa go somewhere where she is going to be an option? When there is an option there's an opportunity in Chelsea where I believe she would be the starting centre-back. And then you'd have Bright, who is ageing now. You'd have Buchanan, who's out injured this season anyway. And you'd have Natalie Bjorn as your other options.
Yeah.
I think Bright will probably... I don't know how long Bright and Buchanan will be there. And I think, obviously, you've got Melis and Pomey coming through. You've got Villa Berman, who joins in the summer, as those younger options who will come through. I think that would be a really nice profiling then of centre-backs. Nice mix of age and experience with some really young players. And obviously, Germa, who's a good player, or probably one of the best defenders I've ever seen. Yeah. In her... Well, not even in her peak yet.
Yeah. Well, Kototo and Renard had a laugh about that tackle, but I think that... I don't think Kototo would have been too happy with her French counterpart.
Alex says Renard is like Thiago Silva with 38, still a top player. Potentially, I wouldn't be surprised if she was interested in exploring her or broadening her horizons. I think that she's won it all with Lyon. I think her only fear is if she leaves Lyon, is she still nailed on in the French national team? Yeah. Possibly not. But I wouldn't be surprised if she's looking at NWSL. She could earn an awful lot of money out there. There's a lot of money in the American game, and I think that would be the pace is slightly slower from what I've seen, what I've read. So I think that could be more suited to her.
Yeah. PSG corner. Can they make something from it? No.
Headed away.
They've been better. They're starting. Karchawi has got wider, and they're starting to get her in down that flank.
And here come Lyon Diani. Here is Chawinga. And that's way too much space to leave Horan in, and that is offside.
So glad that flag went up. But a very obvious one, that.
Alex says, when Germa joins, can't see minutes for Mpome. Well, she'd still be the fourth choice. So I wouldn't be surprised if in an FA Cup or League Cup game, we see Mpome and Bjorn. Yeah.
That's the thing, with 4 competitions.
Or in the WSL against some of the lower sides, I still think there'd be minutes there for Mpome. You can't have 3 centre-backs, because one injury and suddenly you're down to 2.
And with Mpome suffering from a knock herself at the moment, Brighton Bjorn have played every single game of the last couple.
Yeah, so I still think she'd be able to get minutes there.
Yeah, very much so.
Riley says, Lacroix the Renard replacement. What's at Lyon or France? France, definitely. At Lyon, I potentially. It's interesting to see Real win that race. Obviously, a lot of clubs were linked.
Good from Karchawi again. Karchawi's getting joy now that she's hugging that left-hand side. Oh, and the 1-2 doesn't pay off.
Combination there has come off as a throw. That did come off a Lyon defender.
They'll take that then. it looked like the pass had been overhit, but obviously if it taken a touch, I think Archerry was always going to misread it.
Yeah.
PSG are working their way back into this game. They just need to find a goal. A goal would really kickstart a comeback. I'm not really sure what's going on there. There we go. But if they can score a goal in the next 5-10 minutes, they'll put themselves in a good opportunity to get something out of the game. It's not bad from Leute, but Shield is there, just ready to sweep anything up. Yeah.
And again, Dumont brought down there.
Yeah, it does well. Spins Dudek, and then
She's caused problems all evening.
It's another one where it's more that Dumont is just using Dudek's arm, and Dudek just drops the arm. I mean, obviously her arm should be rounder anyway, but
yeah. Great square. Welcome to the stream. Says, is Gilles staying at Lyon? As far as I'm aware, have there been rumours away for Vanessa Gilles? But yeah, as far as I'm aware, I think she'll stay.
Top player, still in the prime of her career. Lyon will want to keep her if there are any rumours, but yeah. I'll tell you one player I haven't really seen tonight is Lindsay Horan. You know, she is on 10 goals in 12 games this season. Hasn't really...
The midfield back's been quite feisty though, to be fair. Yeah.
It's not quite her type of game. She hasn't got time in there to create and dictate.
I think there's another player there, Lindsay Horan. She's hit 30 now. I definitely think we've seen a significant drop-off in her game. And I think you've got to think the next World Cup is still 3 years away. I think there's a real possibility she's not a starter for the US at that.
It's one of those, because even 10 goals, 10 goals in 12 games is an absolutely incredible record, but it's those bigger games we talk about. Yes, she can score a hat-trick against the lower sides in the league, but it's these big games against PSG, against Paris FC, on the international stage for USA. She's not having much of an impact anymore.
Yeah, and you've got to imagine that Coffey is fair, and Lavelle is a fairly good partnership there. Who else joins that midfield? Well, I think with Jaden Shaw coming through, there's a real good opportunity that she'll be a starting player by that point. And I think as an attack midfielder, she could work really nicely in there. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how that midfield looks.
Tidy again from PSG. Katoto, can they finally get a shot away? That's really tidy stuff. Like, they're just...
Right, I'm trying to fashion opportunity. Leon
Totally get away
effectively. And there's one back in there. By Leon, cleared into Zvan.
PSG, the amount of times they've got into the penalty area and just not managed to get a shot away.
Yeah.
I think that was more of a shot from Katoto. It was deflected by Renard, and because that's the pace of it, Lloyd just couldn't bring it down or get a shot away herself. But they've been in, for me, second half, Lyon haven't really threatened too much. PSG, this is an even contest.
Yeah. TCN says, not sure if she'll stay. She's on loan from Angel City until June. I didn't realise she was on loan there. She's been at Lyon for a while now. So I didn't realise she was still at Angel City and just being loaned to Lyon. Great Square says, yeah, Angel City would want her back, I think. Well, that'll be interesting then, because obviously that will be a loss for Lyon.
I believe, is that...
I think if they've got enough money, they could just sign her permanently, and I think Angel City would take the money.
Is it Casey Stoney who's just gone in there, I believe?
No, Stoney's just become Canada manager.
Oh, who am I... I can't...
Which, again, is a really interesting...
Someone's gone... I can't remember who's gone in Angel City. Someone's got in there that was linked with the... it's going to annoy me now.
Well, Becky Tweed is here on football, but I don't think...
Yeah, she got... I thought she'd gone.
Potentially. I'll have a look.
I might be wrong. And is that Diamida fouled? Yeah, wins a free kick. I'll tell you what, PSG, if they can find something, they just get a goal. They've got time to get back into this game.
They're going to do it for Christine Press.
No, I don't know. I might be wrong. I thought they'd changed manager, but...
Oh, Mark Parsons, the new sporting director.
Oh, I might have seen that, potentially.
It was an interesting role for him to take.
Yeah.
I know sometimes managers will go and become sporting directors for a bit, but you feel he could have kept going in management.
I think either way, it was a disappointing season. Last campaign for Angel City, I believe. I might have got my team mixed up, or I'm a shocker here, but
anyway, you think of the wave with Idaval?
no, that's even more a mess. No.
I think it's a good appointment. I know the public sentiment of Idaval isn't high in the WSL or in all of women's football.
I think it'll pay off. Yeah,
I think he is a much better manager than he's given credit for. I think yes, it didn't work out at Arsenal, but I don't think he did much wrong tactically. The players just didn't believe in him as a manager, didn't like him, and that was difficult. But I think if he can get the man management spot on, or if he can improve his man management, then I think he will do better at San Diego Wave. I think there are some really good players there as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've lost Jaden Shaw now to the Courage. They could lose Naomi Gurman. Those would both be huge losses. But they are linked with some good players. F. Peres is one that I've seen linked from the WSL. There's another one from the WSL that I'm forgetting now. But, they are making moves. I think it'll be really interesting to see where they stack up next season. You'd expect that, the likes of Gotham will be up there. The Washington Spirit, because they have good Aldez, and is it Smith or Rodman that's there? I can never remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, you expect them to be good. I think it's Rodman, isn't it? Smith's at the Thorns, I want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, so nearly clears it there into the onrushing.
I struck the hand there, but I didn't and for frustration there, we can see across the face of Mariette.
Yeah.
Act says Taylor just signed another Japanese player for the Hasegawa backup. Well, at least I've signed a Hasegawa backup. That's huge.
I don't quite know what the Japanese contingent is, but all here for it. And as you say, they've got a backup defensive fielder. That could be season.
And it's not even like it's just the previous recruitment staff or Taylor, because they've just brought a new technical director, and that's why we're seeing, or sporting director. That's why we're seeing a huge rush of transfers, because they brought in someone who's gone, well, we need this. Let's go and get it done.
Yeah.
Let's go and ask Mr. Mansour for some money.
And he doesn't even know we're taking it because it doesn't affect him.
He doesn't even remotely notice. Yeah.
Time's running away from PSG
For
tonight.
a few 100,000, he gives you one of his toilet rolls. I think it's got $1,000 bills on it.
Yeah. I think it'll be a frustrating one for the fans, for the players. They've been in this game. They really have. Second half especially, they just haven't had anything to give to Lyon and to challenge them. Yes, but they would have really fancied themselves to draw a win tonight, and they put on a good performance.
Yeah. Now, Ryan says, which is the better rivalry, Barca Real Madrid or Lyon PSG? In the women's game, neither are that fierce. I'd say definitely Lyon PSG, because at least there's a chance PSG might win it. But I don't think that Real Madrid Barca is that strong a rivalry. Obviously, you've got the fact that the clubs don't like each other. But on the pitch, you've got to have competitiveness for it to be a proper rivalry. Or you've got to have, because in the women's game, we don't have, obviously, because it's a fairly modern sport, at least at the professional level, at least with the fans. I think it's very difficult to have those rivalries that are based on locality.
Yeah.
And so it's more competition based. Chelsea Arsenal, yes, they're local rivals, but I think the rivalry there comes from the fact that they have been competing for titles for so long. There's a reason, because Chelsea and Arsenal are not the biggest rivals in the men's game. Yes, there's still rivalry there, but Chelsea Tottenham's a fiercer rivalry. Arsenal Tottenham's a fiercer rivalry. Everyone hates Tottenham. That's not the same. That's not the same in the women's game. So it's more about who you're in competition with.
Yeah.
And the problem for Lyon and the problem for Barcelona is that who are they in competition with? Themselves.
I think a derby that has been very competitive the last couple of years is the Manchester derby. I think tomorrow is going to be a very tasty game of football, not only for the quality on the pitch, but I think it could get pretty heated. I think it's going to it's a very important match, and I think there's a lot on the line.
The Manchester derby is starting to get that. I think when it also depends on the managers as well, because Skinner was always quite outspoken. So him versus Hayes is more interesting. Obviously, I don't know Hayes.
Exactly. That made Chelsea Arsenal just topped it.
yeah, that really ramped up the rivalry in recent years. That's what we need more of. But the problem is now you've got quite tame managers.
Bon Pastor's very calm.
Exactly. Rene Slager's very calm.
I think Gareth Taylor, obviously, he is a calm manager, but I think
He's not even on the sideline. How's he going to have beef
that's a
with
good
someone?
point.
Bellow down from the stand.
Like Skinner.
Exactly. I mean, hopefully, if United take the lead, he might come down the stairs.
Yeah. I think
Stand the temple.
Brian Sorensen's a very vocal man. A very.
I think the Merseyside might be the most fierce.
Yeah.
Matt Beard and Sorensen will just have words with each other all day.
Yeah.
Chance from range for PSG, but it's a fairly comfortable save for Christine. And
It's a shot on target. It's just coming too late. They have taken the game to Lyon. They've just not had that cutting edge in the final third to make them pay. And it'll be a point of frustration because tonight they've played well. For me, I think they've played well enough to win the game. Especially, I think first half. Okay, yeah. For me, they deserve to be losing. Maybe with
And well, Lyon looking to add another here, cut out.
I think second half. I think it's PSG have been better team second half. I really do.
Yeah, they've definitely improved. I think they've been a lot closer to Olympique Lyonnais. The problem for me is they've just simply not. They've still just not looked like scoring. Like realistically, they've had chances. They've looked dangerous, but have they looked like putting the ball in the back of the net? No.
Yeah, Lloyd just shot. He's their first shot on target, I believe.
Yeah, well, at least the one of what I can recall.
Yeah, and the thing is, Lyon can hit you on the counter and cause you lots of issues, even when you are in control.
Diani. Lyon probing here. Henry Lecque says, notice that you lot don't do watch-along for Liga F games. Why is that? One, they are mostly streamed on YouTube. The only reason we're doing tonight's game is because it's a big game, it's on TNT, and it's not on YouTube. Same reason we don't do Serie A games. The other reason
Bundesliga.
is the problem. Yeah. The other reason is that I could predict the result before the game, because if it's Barcelona, they're going to win. There was one the other week, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, which would have been interesting. I didn't realise it was on UK television.
Yeah.
Until it was, I was scrolling through and went, hang on, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid's on TV, which was a bit annoying.
But yeah, I think it's the Fan Bundesliga, the Liga F, and the Serie A Feminine that are all. The coverage is all over YouTube, so it would defeat the point of us doing it.
The Premier League is normally on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because obviously they don't have the rights to all these leagues, but they for whatever reason this one isn't on there.
No.
But then I believe it's because TNT have bought it in the UK, so it may be on YouTube for other people. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I need to DAZN. I have no idea what they're doing with their rights. But yeah. Delta says Chelsea is actually the only remaining unbeaten side in Europe's top leagues. Technically not. Lyon are still unbeaten. I know they were knocked out of the French Cup, but that was a draw in normal time. However, yes, let's just say that. Let's get that propaganda going.
That's a poor pass from Endler, and it's not quite pounced on by PSG. They have still got the ball.
Here's Kai Chowie. Now Jackie Groenen.
A PSG goal in the next 5-10 minutes makes this game very interesting. Can they find the back of the net? Can they start to cause issues?
That's a good sign. But Rai says, I'm watching this game on YouTube, Women's Soccer Channel, commentary in French, though. Well, that's the thing. I think the biggest problem at the moment for the women's game is piracy. That's why you simply couldn't have it behind a paywall, because people just put it on free on YouTube and no one notices, seemingly. It's frustrating from our perspective, of course.
Luckily, who was that said where they're watching it?
Riley.
Right, I think luckily, Riley, you tune into us as well, but other people won't do that. They're taking viewers
watch it with the French commentary and put up with it. Karchawi, ball into the box. Chance now. That's blocked.
Handball. That looked like a penalty
in there, but referee has not looked.
I want to see a replay. That looked like a penalty to me, and I think the complaint.
Holding a yellow card for someone complaining.
Wow.
De Almeida.
I think that looked like a very easy penalty for me. We'll have a look. Okay, that one's not handball, but there's another one. They were screaming. I thought they were screaming one on the floor. That's handball to the eye.
Yeah, she's used the hand there. But yeah.
And I think a frustrating night for PSG is just starting to get more and more frustrating. De Brits comes on for Lyon.
Marachan coming off.
It's one of those when it's not your night, it's really not your night.
Yeah.
You know, if that was in a game where PSG are 3-0 up and they're playing really well, that would have been given.
Well, the officiating's been a bit weird. I don't think it's had a dramatic impact on the game, but it has all just been a bit weird.
It's been inconsistent both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a true statement. Alex says, Henry says, I think you lot missed out on the Barca Atletico Bilbao game. You lot would have been impressed. Well, potentially. Possibly. Alex says, Riley, is Chelsea game tomorrow also YouTube because it's not on Sky? Yes. Chelsea game is on YouTube. Right. Great Square says, most leagues are on DAZN for me from the US. Yeah, most games are on DAZN now. The WSL isn't. They've got their own YouTube channel and obviously in the UK, US and any other countries that have a broadcaster, some games are reserved for those broadcasts, which is good because that's going to bring in revenue, television money. I'm surprised the WSL hasn't done their own broadcaster. I'm guessing that they like their own streaming platform, which they could have put behind a slight paywall, and then charged for all of the games and potentially made more in revenue that way. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe they would have looked at all their options, wouldn't they? I know, obviously, who's the WPL? Nikki Doucette.
Yeah, has some great ideas.
Has all the ideas.
And
I would appreciate if she didn't share all of them. Yeah, every thought that comes to her head. But it's very interesting to listen to or read her interviews in the Guardian. She has
some great ideas, and I think her vision and her head is in the right place. I just think the proposition and the execution of some of her ideas would be disappointing.
And the problem is when you say them all, because she said so many ideas, yes, there's good ones in there, but the ones that grab the headlines are, what if the WSL was a close league? Absolutely not. Let's not even talk about that, please. Terrible idea. We're not ripping all of the sporting integrity away.
I think it's hard to think what is an actual idea because she says so many things.
Well, there's that. You've got the Celtic and Rangers joining, which I'm not 100% against. You've got Welsh teams in the English football pyramid. I don't think I'm 100% against it. I think it would massively hurt Scottish football, especially Scottish women's football. I think
the travel miles of the WSL would increase massively.
It's not much further than going up to Newcastle, who could be in the league, and it's not much further than going up to Manchester.
But it's a longer trip. No one wants to go there, do they? No, I just for me it just doesn't sit right. And as you say, it would just kill Scottish football because suddenly Glasgow City would be
them and Hearts.
Aberdeen. I don't know, wrong team.
Yeah,
Hearts. Yeah, I just don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the Scottish teams would let that happen. I'm not sure the WSL teams would, because them getting a free pass because while someone I think there is a drive to get more teams, I don't see who in the WSL it benefits.
Yeah,
everyone will have to travel further. They will have to split the revenue with more teams, and there would be complaints from the Championship and lower down the pyramid about why have they just been allowed to go straight into the WSL.
Yeah.
So they've either got to start right at the bottom, or I just don't see it.
I'm sorry, but why are they not playing on?
PSG have the chance. They've been fouled by Renard again.
But the bit I don't get is why there are no PSG players absolutely screaming about that.
Yeah.
That's another really poor decision. PSG, yes, Renard has committed a foul, but they've kept the ball and they're still coming forwards. It's really not good. Just come to clear the ball away and get the
How is Renard not on a yellow? I love when
I think she is now. She is now. But
that's the third or fourth foul now, but she's been nowhere near the ball. Nowhere near it. And the problem is, if you book her earlier, then, she looked confused. She's made 4 fouls that were poor. But if you book her earlier, she can't make a foul like that. And again, it's just about officiating being a bit sharper. Alex says some PSG players are just not good enough versus Lyon, in my opinion, like Gaetino, like Dudek and Grunen. It's some interesting. I haven't watched enough of these two sides of the season to make a judgment on those players specifically. But on tonight's game, I would agree. I think their wide centre backs have really struggled. I think but then again, Leon are so good coming forward.
Yeah.
It's difficult to assess that there. And I've not seen much of Jackie Groening, to be fair. But again, I think it's over one game, it's difficult to assess that. But yeah, I would broadly agree.
Yeah, I think tonight will feel like a missed opportunity for PSG. They've been in the game, they really have, and what will frustrate them is they've been in both games now against Lyon. They went away to Lyon, only lost by a goal to nil, and tonight they've lost 2-0, but it could have so easily been a much closer game and a positive result. And they're gonna find themselves 7 points off Lyon. But I look at both those games, and I think they've both. I think they could have got something from both ties.
Yeah. PSG have played a pass there, and for whatever reason, it's been pulled back again.
I'm saying the ref was ready.
Well,
That's because Renard went down injured, and then tried to play on.
Ah.
So they took the kick off with Renard still on the pitch. No, you can't do that.
Kalachawi. Now Renard does return to the fray. Ryan says Horan's ridiculously overrated. Leke says I don't think Gronin's as she thinks Gronin is as good as Horan. Provoked the decision making, isn't there?
There's another shout for a penalty here. As Kalachawi knocks it past. Oh no,
That's a bit of a pull, but
there's
yeah,
a hand
it goes
goal,
down to
but I don't count that.
Alex says Bundesliga extends from 12 to 14 next season for more games and becomes more popular.
Wow.
That's good. I think the WSL will go down that route soon. I think you look at the championship this season, and London City Lionesses could come in and I think compete. Newcastle could come in and compete with the finances. I mean, at least even if the teams right now aren't right there, Michelle Kang will buy the whole league. You've got Southampton who have put a fair bit of money in.
Birmingham are the ones who are taking it by storm at the moment.
Yeah, Birmingham look really good in the division.
American owners camp. And that's what we want to see. You want to see owners investing into their women's teams. It's paying off at Birmingham right now. They sit top of the women's championship. And
if they're in the WSL next season, it's a return of a side who were really good in the WSL back in the day, I believe. Before it was the WSL, I believe Birmingham were quite a decent side. Obviously, they have had no investment in that club for years. Suddenly, Tom Brady and his merry band of American millionaires have shown up.
I want to say League Cup winners or FA Cup winners, Birmingham at some point.
Back in the day, I think so. Yeah.
I think it's League Cup.
Actually, even no, I don't think they haven't got WSL, but they may have a top division.
I think it's a league. I want to say they've won the League Cup, but I might be incorrect.
We're gonna find out.
I have 5 minutes to go here. It's just too late for PSG. They've been the better side second half, but have just not been able to make it count. And I think Lyon will see their advantage in the table go to 8. They'll put 8.
They were founding members of the WSL in 2011.
Yeah, I think Lyon are going to put themselves in a very good position tonight.
They won the FA Cup in 2012, runners up for the Super League in 2011 and 2012, runners up for the Winter League Cup in 2011 and 2012.
Won the FA Cup.
So just that, I imagine it was Arsenal's dominance then.
Yeah.
The custom. But yeah.
Yeah, because that switch on to look how wide Kalachawi's getting now. But, it's just happened too late. She's got a lot of joy in the last 15 minutes of getting wide, but that change was made too late by PSG. Yeah,
Henry Leke says worst thing about this is Katoto is leaving, and funny enough, she may end up at Lyon. Yeah, they just want all of PSG's best players. Really, it's a smart business model.
Yeah,
I think she'll either end up at Lyon or London City Lionesses. Michelle Kang just looks to destroy all rivals to Lyon.
Brilliant. Just taking over the world. At this point, we're going to get to a world where Michelle Kang is the owner.
I know very little about Michelle Kang, but I talk about her.
And you have to give credit to her. She's worked her way. She's worked so well to get herself in a position where she can just go around buying football clubs and
I have no idea. Life. She may have not, but
no, she's a I can't remember what company she owns. It's very well. I think it's very well renowned.
Let's find it.
Michelle Kang trivia. I think you get quite a few questions out of that. New quiz night. The Michelle Kang round.
Founder and former CEO of Cynisca Sports International, an umbrella company for multi-club ownership. She was the founder of Cognizant, a medical technology company, and Cognizant Ventures, a venture capital firm.
That was it, yeah.
So she founded a medical tech company.
And a whole load of money off it.
Yes, and now owns everybody.
Now runs around just buying football clubs.
Owns Washington Spirit, Olympique Lyonnais, and London City Lionesses.
Yeah, in a few years she could have 3 teams all winning titles.
Well, if hypothetically, if London City Lionesses got to the Champions League, would she have to sell? Or would they forfeit their Champions League place? Because you can't have 2 clubs owned by the same owner in UEFA competitions.
I think they'll be saved by the fact that...
So would they just put it in a different name?
Maybe.
If it's under the multi-club umbrella thing that City get away with? But they're owned by the same group, then it's okay, because it's not the same owner.
The Michelle Kang group.
Yeah. Well, what are they called? The Kyniska. So to be fair, they're not owned by Kang exclusively, they're owned by this umbrella company, which is probably her thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Only a couple minutes to go here. It's been disappointing. PSG. I thought that they would have. They've had it in them tonight. They've played well enough, and now they're going to make a double change, bringing off Katoto for Diarra, which is bizarre. You know, at the end of the day, you are still chasing the game, but I guess you feel like you're not going to win it now, so you might as well bring Katoto off. And there's another change as well coming.
Traore coming up.
In replace of Gaoro.
Yes, this feels like admitting defeat almost, but equally it's 2-0 in the 89th minute.
Yeah.
Why not give some of your younger players a run out?
A huge missed opportunity. I think a very even game that on another day PSG could have very much won.
Chewinga off, and well, it gets easier because on comes Eugene Le Sommer.
That's just
Eugene Le Sommer.
ridiculous. I mean, I know she's not quite at the very top of her game anymore.
It's Le Sommer.
Yeah, still pretty good footballer.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That is it. Le Sommer as your bench striker is absurd.
Imagine that Katoto's that mix as well. Well, is she even going to play?
Yeah. What do you tell you? You're behind two of the best strikers of the last decade.
Yeah. Some of the best forwards in the world right now. That's why I can't see that move happening. I think if she's offered that or starting somewhere else, she'll take the starting position, surely. Unless they use Dumoulin as an attacking midfielder and it's like a 4-2-3-1 type shape.
Yeah.
Which is possible, and that would be ridiculous. That attack would beat everybody, and no one would have any fun anymore.
Everyone go home.
TCN says, well, they did play well. They are holding Lyon to only 2 goals. That is true.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. They held them to only 1 goal earlier in the season.
The fact that
this is at home, they'd have hoped to put up a fight.
They've only lost one. They only lost 1-0 to them away. They've only lost 2-0 tonight. And they've been in a position for me tonight. They've played better. Second half, they really could have put some pressure on Lyon, and they have been the better side. It's missed opportunities. I think in both games, or as I said, on another day, a bit of luck here and there. You get the rub of the green. If that I've forgotten her name now, Diani handball is given, suddenly they get a penalty. If they score that, then they've got 10-15 minutes to go and get an equaliser, and it's a different game. It's one of those where I think PSG will feel that in both games against Lyon this season, just a little bit of the rub of the green, and they could have got something from both matches. Instead, they've lost both, and they find themselves 8 points behind the leaders.
Yeah. I'll just bring us back to a previous conversation as mentioned by Alex. Lyon's striking options do not end at Eugenie Le Sommer.
No.
Because, of course, Ada Hegerberg, Ballon d'Or winner, is sat on the bench. Just watching.
So you have one of the best strikers. To lead the line, you have one of the best strikers in the world right now. And to bring on, you have 2 of the best strikers of the last decade.
Ada Hegerberg, arguably one of the best strikers of all time.
Yes. But yeah. And Le Sommer has a shout.
Right, so at some point we'll have Myra on the bench for Kurt or vice versa. And that's exactly why we signed Myra Ramirez, because you look at Lyon, you look at Barca, that's how you have to compete with that.
With Payor and Paraluelo and whoever you want to put up front. Yeah. That Barcelona team.
been a weird position for Barca, hasn't it, striker?
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got Kika Nazareth now and Eva Payor, which is trying to solve that issue. But I don't
think they've solved it. I'll take a punt.
Well, yeah, I don't think their attacking issues are awful. Don't get me wrong. Huge problems.
Struggling school.
But I think obviously they have addressed it this season, but I don't think they had. I don't think Sarah Paraluelo is as good as people say she is. I don't know. That's,
Yeah, no, I
don't know. I'm sure people will say that's controversial. I've never watched her in a big game. I thought she's played particularly well.
No.
No, I know Barcelona are a really good team, but
yeah,
I don't think Paraluelo is as good as people think she is.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lyon are still pushing forward, so they'd like another goal.
I think Joe Montemurro will realise that tonight that they have, at times, got away with it. I think second half PSG have had more of the ball, have looked slightly better.
Yeah. I don't think it will concern him too deeply.
It won't, but it's something to think about, and he needs something to think about. Because no other team has remotely touched them this season.
No, they only conceded one goal in the Champions League group stage.
And they went and smashed like 6 or 7.
I think that's why in the women's game the new Champions League format's going to make so much more of an impact.
Yeah,
because I think it will suddenly be a lot more interesting.
Because Lyon walked their group.
Yeah, and even then you've got Roma and Wolfsburg in there who are both good sides. And that is full time here at the Parc des Princes. PSG 0, Olympique Lyonnais 2. A big win for Lyon as they go 7 points clear at the top of the Première Ligue. It's looking very difficult to see anyone other than Lyon winning that title now. Yeah. A really good return to domestic action for the reigning back-to-back.
No, they've won 3 in a row.
Back-to-back champions.
Yes.
They are a very good side, and they'll be looking to continue that dominance as we move into 2025. Joe Montemurro keen to get some titles under their belt.
Yeah.
What's the new format? So it's Great Square. So next season, rather than having 4 groups of 4, we'll have one big table with 16 teams in it, and then everyone will play a random 4 or 6 games out of that, and then the top 4 go through automatically. The next 8 will play a playoff round, and then after that we'll play the quarterfinals, semi-finals, final as normal.
It means we get more games and better games.
It means you get 2 more teams into the competition. We have an extra round, in theory, of fixtures and more group stage action. And in theory, the group stage game should be
a big league table.
Yeah. I think if you're watching from a neutral perspective, it's difficult to follow along, but it has in the men's game proven to cause more upsets.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. But yeah, we'll probably do a video looking more at that
at some point
soon, potentially. We did a Europa League video. People enjoyed us talking about that format. We'll probably talk about the Champions League format at some point. Alex says Ada is also just 29. Feels like she's been here for 2 decades. Yeah, I can't believe she's only 20. That's insane.
I thought she was deep into her 30s.
Yeah.
Well, no offence to one of the best strikers in the world, but only 29. She's their 3rd.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ridiculous. Just go to the US, make some money. Riley says, "Great stream, guys. See you soon. We are back tomorrow. So if you have enjoyed today's stream, we'll be back tomorrow morning with Tottenham versus Leicester, and then for the big clash tomorrow evening, which even if you're a neutral, is going to be huge. It's the Manchester derby, and if you want a preview of that game, we'll go and check it out on the channel now because we did one today talking about why Manchester United may well beat Man City. So go and check that out. TCS, thanks for the stream. Thank you all for your kind messages. Thanks everyone that's tuned in this evening. Try something a little bit different tonight. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Had a great time.
Exactly, just be out of the house. So that's good. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. That is all from us this evening. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.